Just give it a second. And we are live on the recording. So this is going to be the Let's React to the Death Battle for the TCP Prestream for Next Revolution. That's episode 8. We have all these casuals here in the pre-stream, and we are going to enjoy some Bayonetta and Dante action. So we're going to sit back, relax, and watch this little festivity of a video that we have here. Let's begin.
This episode of Death Angry Video Game Nerd 2 Assimilation. Pre-order on Steam.
And I hear someone echoing.
James, is that you?
Damn, James. Wrecked.
Muted.
Some action heroes, it's not enough to just save the world.
Yep, that's muted.
Dante, the Devil Hunter.
Yay! Boo! Just kidding.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Who's gonna win? Obviously, it's a certain someone with white hair.
Down Slum Avenue, and you'll find all sorts of hangouts for the
Yeah.
the Bullseye Bar, the School Club, and
So, I must ask, like, how accurate did you think they get the facts right on the characters initially before they started the battle? Do you think some of it isn't accurate, or do you think that they're on point?
I would say
It's accurate, but it did.
I would say
They're
it's like
accurate, but it
80%
left out
accurate.
some stuff.
He says accurate, but it lacks
It
help
did.
and stuff.
Dante's life was
There's
Yeah.
some bias.
born from the unholy union of a human
I would
Donald
say
Trump,
that
you know.
there is about like 80% accurateness for both characters, because they do miss some points for both.
Yeah, especially for Dante. They didn't even bother listening to all the people he defeated.
Yep, and they don't even list all of his styles. They only list they list 4, but he only uses 3 in particular in this death battle.
It makes me think, like, with all the styles Dante has, Dark Slayer, Royal Guard, Sword Master, he would be a son of a bitch to fight in all actuality.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of gameplay, it'd be redundant for them to list all the styles, but he just lists the more important ones.
I would say Omen would pretty much do it, since it's a one-shot for everything.
nature of his occupation, Dante always maintains a
But for the lesser demons, yes, it's a one-shot.
No. I think, honestly, if you fight Dante on Dante Must Die in DMC4, you get hit with the Pandora, doesn't it kill you in, like, one shot?
Oh,
I'm talking about game logic here, but
if you
still.
count game logic, yeah, if your health is low enough, it can one-shot you. Like, if you, like, maybe lost a quarter of your health or whatever, it could probably kill you in one shot.
Look at all this shit. Like, alright, I'm gonna say there's probably a little bit of bias on my side because I only played the demo for Bayonetta. I mean, it does seem like she has skills, and the whole Umbra Witch thing and the torture and all that shit she can do with her hair, that does seem awesome, but I did hear she was human. That's just the main thing against her. She fighting a half demon, half human.
Exactly. Especially since he's highly skilled and obviously more powerful than your average, demon.
Yamato can cut through time and space itself.
I don't know why they gave him Navon for this when he doesn't
what?
even. They mention Navon for this,
They were
but,
just listening.
but they don't bring up the weapons
all.
he
They-
actually uses in this fight.
Yeah, they do this though, but the thing is though, they just listen off weapons he has or used. Doesn't mean he would guarantee to use it in the battle. Besides, they've done this before. They list something in the stats and whatnot, but never use it in the battle. So there's nothing new.
Yeah, I heard that sometimes that happens, and it's particularly in these death battles. Like, I was talking to someone on Twitter about this. I was like, I don't mind moves not being displayed, but they have to display the person's powers if they're going to use that particular iteration. Like, this is DMC4 Dante, so I would expect him to have access to all his styles at least, and all the stuff that he can do with, like, his weapons. Yeah, devil arms, all that.
Yeah, because they didn't even list his Democrat 2 incarnation, which is a good thing because that fight wouldn't last long.
Oh,
Because let's remember, he's serious in that game and he is beyond overkill.
Majin form for the win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like I said in lore, he could fucking blow up the planet in DMC2.
Senor James, you have joined us for the festivities, good sir.
Yeah, because Dom's an asshole, keeps muting me without telling me.
Hey. That's not my fault. Your fucking mic keeps echoing.
It echoes because the video comes from my speaker.
Well, now that we have that little situation resolved, we can talk more about this. How Trish's titties are hanging out now.
Fight.
No one's complaining.
No, not at all.
Wow, these Dante perks are really long. I expected them to be long, but holy shit.
Listen, the
Yeah,
man's done a lot of
MVC2.
shit, okay?
Yeah, he has more history than Bayonetta.
Just say he can fucking kick people's ass with a pizza and call it a day.
He could cut you in half with the pizza.
He'll beat the
That'd
shit
be
out of you
scary.
with a bike.
This stuff I did not foresee them accounting for. I did not even account for it myself. With the whole his running speed and shit, I did not account for it.
Barely phased when hit by meteors?
Yeah, he was hit by meteors against Mundus.
Oh yeah. Just like that, yeah. It's been a long time since I played DMC 1 actually.
In space. If let's not forget that Mundus can create dimensions and whatnot.
So basically, the only person that beat Dante was Virgil.
Virgil. Yeah.
Yes.
Just Virgil.
And then he made a comment.
Virgil. That makes sense though, considering Virgil's virtually his equal.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
They have the same powers to some degree.
But I thought
Yeah, until the
that
first game.
I thought that Brandon said someone in the anime also defeated him.
Not necessarily defeating him. He caught him off guard, basically.
Look, he took
that
him.
guy shot just now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that guy that shot him just now. He kind of took Dante off guard and put him up against a cross. And Dante took a nap and got
They
up and
also
body
swore
him.
the ending of the anime.
Let me turn the volume up a little bit on the video.
One
Sounds
stage
like
is
tall,
her
Lord.
child itself. I wouldn't really
She's
call that anything
7
special.
feet tall. What the fuck is she, the Undertaker?
Wait, she's 7 feet tall?
That's what they just said, didn't they?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
7.7.
That's a huge bitch.
And well, she is wearing high heels too. I suggest she's probably 7'3". Chick has some long legs, man. I ain't complaining though.
Like, fucking,
Yeah, no wonder she always looks like she has the longest legs ever.
fucking Brandon's like, yeah, those
Yeah.
spaghetti legs, I will fuck those.
What is that? What the hell outfit was that?
What are those?
That's her
Yeah.
mother. That was her mom.
Oh,
And that right there is her witch outfit. The one she was standing next to John, that's her rich outfit before
I know that part.
the end of the game.
Oh shit.
But the one you saw beforehand was her mother.
That bitch was naked.
Yeah.
As an Umbro witch, not only does her hair serve as her
Oh.
Hey, look, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hello, hentai. How are you?
also use it to summon a butterfly to aid her in battle. This
I'm amazed that she can actually do that though. Use her hair. That's awesome, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I do like that prospect of her at least. It makes the battles very dynamic and fluid looking when she uses her hair.
So as part of that her
Oh,
her
God.
pubic hair.
Dom would ask.
I knew it.
Come on, man. This is supposed to be a family-friendly show.
Yeah, family friendly with two dudes killing each other.
Oh, man.
Yeah, then
Her Shiraba, meet Yamato.
Oh shit, was that like chainsaws? I didn't know she had those weapons.
yeah, she had chainsaw in the first game and twin chainsaws in the second.
That's awesome.
And this is not all her weapons though. It's like they didn't list all of
I
Dante's.
still hate the leg guns. I hate it. It looks dumb. Does not even make positional sense.
James, you're so nitpicky.
How are you shooting those?
Magic, literally.
I don't know, man.
Bull and shit.
Maybe she's very flexible.
James, it's magic. You're not supposed to question it, quite literally. It defies all types of logic.
You have to remember that she's a witch, so that's why she'd be able to do it.
Exactly.
Witch in the street, senpai in the sheets.
Oh, he's stealing my lines now.
Which is the street, senpai street. Oh, I'm stealing that.
When fully unleashed, Madama Butterfly can shatter huge meteors.
That camel though.
There goes Brandon paying attention to details.
What? It's science, man.
For science. What the fuck?
Now, keep that in mind. Savior could do that by effortlessly tossing it at Dante. So I doubt that would be much for him to handle.
Yeah, and Dante can easily split space.
Dante eats buildings.
He eats buildings.
The man, dude, the Savior throws a fucking building at you,
Dude,
and you can survive it like no. You know what, Ren? You can royal block the fucking building. You know that, right?
No, I did not.
You can block the building.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah, oh no, a building.
Man, when I say
block.
that Royal Guard can block anything, I mean anything, except for grabs, obviously.
You could royal release the. If you royal release the building, you probably would blow it up.
What is this motherfucker, Godzilla?
It has his the Demon Inferno.
The demon equivalent of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this Illuminati bitch.
No, that's not Illuminati. That's a kite.
That's
Uh-oh.
a kite.
Lobster.
Bayo getting her ass killed.
Yeah, we haven't even started the fight yet.
Oh, look, tentacles. You know what
That's
this is going?
something I would also say is one of Bayonetta's biggest problems, that she needs help to get shit done.
Did this happen in both games?
Yes.
Yes, because she needed John to summon the Queen of Inferno, because by lore, if they try to summon this Queen of Inferno, it will kill them. So it takes two equally powerful witches to do it.
Interesting.
That tongue lick, though. Good lord.
The ads are real.
Oh god, just what I need to hear about ass simulation. Giant fucking alligator.
For you, Ren, you should buy it.
Was the first game even good?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was hard. It was hard, but it was pretty good.
People like it.
That game is probably a shitload of fuck.
Literally. If you watch every video game nerd, it's quite literally.
Shut up.
Here it is.
What are you telling? Shut up. Yeah.
Everybody. Let Ren experience.
What the fuck is this shit on my throne? Ooh. She coming in with the blue pimp shoes.
Blue
10 out of 10
shoes.
Ren should
Also,
have
before you
with
say
Dante.
anything, yes, Dante's VA in this sucks, but oh well.
Yeah. I ignored it after the fight happened.
I'm looking for something called a left eye.
It's like,
If only
baby,
Roman Langdon was voicing this.
he's gonna be like, baby, can we have a naked sex party on this throne?
But if you're looking for the left eye, that'll either
I know you nuns can't have sex, but oh shit, party time. Ooh. Alright, I'm loving this gunplay right now.
Yeah, I'll give them. This is why this is pretty much the best death battle they made, because this is very over the top.
Oh shit, DMC3 reference with the bullet.
Yep. You see a lot more of that. Just wait.
I noticed that they do most of the references like this. Do you remember this run?
Yeah, Dante and Nero.
Yeah, I do a lot of Devil May Cry references. I don't know about Bayonetta getting many.
What
You
the
take
fuck?
that into account, it seems like they were really gunning for Dante to win in the first place.
This bitch is trying to be Arrow. Oh, Stinger that bitch.
That was also from DMC4
Yeah.
against Nero.
Too slow. Nah, that's the
You know, when I saw this the first time I saw this happen, I'm like, bitch, you have no idea.
No, it ain't over yet. He's like, you think that shit hurt? Let me brush this off my shoulders.
It'd be funny he pull a spike out of his chest.
Oh, drive. Yes, drive.
Also, did you notice how they censored her back by making it gold?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
I don't care. Also, fuck you, bitch, Quicksilver.
Haven't used this in a while. Still got it.
Mm-hmm.
In the money.
Oh, it's getting full on WWE in here.
You're a naughty boy hitting a girl like that. You need to be
Throw
taught
some
some
tables
lessons.
and some chairs. Did you guys say you hate the whip?
Nah, Dante's
Yeah,
like,
the whip and being at once sucks.
Dante's like, I'm into
I don't know
that
about two, though.
S&M shit.
Notice how Dante hasn't switched weapons yet still?
Yep.
Doesn't need to.
So you got
Oh,
skills,
look,
man.
another DMC4 reference.
Ah, yeah, bar.
I know how
That's
this is
just how much
gonna
she
go.
said, though.
Yup.
Your breath stinks.
Heck, man.
Damn, Dante made that bitch get some roll gain on that one.
I know, right?
This is where we part ways, love.
After you.
Oh, we got the backup. The backup is in the building.
Texas.
He's probably one of the best parts in the video, in my opinion.
At
With
first I was like, why the
fights.
fuck are both of you here?
Come on, Trish. You missed.
But you got, man, this is pretty hype.
Don't be a baby. Let's
At first I was like, why, how the hell are you two here? Why?
You know what? I think that would logically make sense. They would probably help each other, considering how many partners they have now.
getting paid for this one, right?
Especially Dante, because
I'm glad they picked Trish and not Lady, because Lady would not survive.
Like, I'm in it for the money, bitch.
Oh, so that wouldn't work against Sparta.
What happened?
That wouldn't work against Sparta. Pairing the sword like that.
I saw Agni and Rundra.
Yep.
Oh, these bitches are getting body. Look.
Wait, no, Dom, you can't parry on Sparta.
Uh-oh.
Down, you heard me?
Bitch, you about to go business.
Yeah, I
man.
hear you.
Watch, this is gonna
I
be
thought he
it.
was going to do Omen.
They're
No,
gonna
it
be
won't.
they're gonna be fucking liquefied after this.
Nope.
Damn it.
There's still a bit more. You'll see how this ends. Ren's gonna be hyped.
You get that outfit. A thrift
If only that had been an actual Democrat game.
That color looks terrible on you. Bitch!
Ooh. She got that ass banned.
Pay attention.
Nope, then they leave.
Now here comes the worst part of Death Battle, though.
And now it's over. This is where it ends.
Double trigger.
That was, oh,
Dante's pimp slaps are just smacking them hands.
Then this is where she fucked up.
Don't fuck with a witch.
down, James, touch.
Oh shit, I remember that. That's one leg. Oh, decapitation.
I would go for the win.
Let's see. Oh,
Not possible.
So wait, Ren, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
damn.
Bullseye.
Let me end this on a sexual innuendo. And she blew her load.
Yeah, and James said Lucifer sucks.
James don't like Lucifer? Get out of here, you
Nope.
casual.
How come I never
And he still has the sword in his chest. He can just leave.
Dude, that dude's gonna sleep on his sword. It's like, that's a little memento
Like
to
free
remember
sword.
right by. Yeah.
Well, I'll show you how I think it went down.
He's gonna
Hey, no,
sleep with the sword in
Someone
his
had
chest.
an argument saying that the sword would have took his soul. That is false because Dante can neglect in the Devil Trigger.
Get a bacon fight.
Also, DBS sucks. Just only because that it was a continuation of
explanation
this
for
battle.
Dante though. Why he won.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Yeah. The ending was pretty obvious that, as everyone told me, because like I said, I haven't played a lot of Bayonetta. The fact that she's human, yeah, it's obvious he would have survived that over her surviving a fatal blow because he takes fatal blow for breakfast. Look at this, he rises off swords and shit, takes bullets to the face. I don't think Bayonetta could take all that shit.
Nope.
Nope.
That's why she
he
got
stabbed her one time, and that pretty much killed it. No, you know what fucked her up the most?
What?
You stuck with the bitch that gives you all your power so he could kill her, and then you have no power.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because, what else? Madama Butterfly, whatever its name is, she has nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, sure.
Also,
Because she's
this
in
I never
contract with her.
known before.
I've never known that. I mean, it does make me want to play Bayonetta, but as I said, I can see his perks outweighing hers by a long shot.
See, look, you see? Fast horsemanship. Bayonetta hasn't done anything that impressive at all.
Well,
She's all gunplay.
And when DMC5 comes out, he's gonna sleep with 3 swords in his chest.
What if Dante does sleep like that? What if he impales himself to look like Jesus? And he has like a million swords in him. He's like, yeah, I do this every day.
You already did. It's called the enemy.
Instead of pinning me to the cross, it pinned me to the mattress.
Well, alright, that's pretty much it.
I want to see what this end thing is. Oh, a Mario character, obviously.
Fucking Bowser.
Browsers.
Bowser versus who again?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Renegade, you wanna watch the DBX version of the battle?
No, it's dumb.
It just says Bowser and that's it. Alright, so my opinions on that is I pretty much saw that coming. I don't think that really there was any contest there, considering the fact that, like I said, I heard she was human. So, yeah, that's my opinions on that. Dante, Wreck Shop, what do you guys think of that? And do you think that that death battle was fair?
Yeah.
Who wants to take the show first?
Yeah. Who wants to do it?
Yo, Dom, I want you to do it. You're always acting up.
Do what?
Just talk. What did you think about it? Was it fair? You know, could they have changed? Things like that.
Well, like I said earlier, they were missing a few things from Dante's side, and obviously they're not going to sit down the entire video talking about all of the possible abilities that each character can have. But overall, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, considering that this is Death Battle, and I don't generally care for it, so.
That's understandable, man. I can see why you had to say something about that, because obviously there's a lot of fights that happen in Death Battle that people find kind of redundant. Like, yeah, they do follow the facts, but there are some victories that I heard that leaves a little more to be desired, or they just come off as completely erroneous. I would not take these as canon.
The two ones that are erroneous would be Tifa and Yang, and Kid Buu and Kirby.
Yeah, because I heard those were completely...
Oh, don't forget the Cloud versus Link. That
The
one was
Tifa
kind
one
of...
was especially bullshit, because she was bodying Yang the entire fight, to all of a sudden, oh, Tifa gets her neck snapped. Get the fuck out of here. That was complete utter.
Not only that, the Cloud versus Link fight, they nerfed Cloud and buff Link.
And it's funny, because the last one I watched before this one was Wolverine and Raiden, and that actually made a lot of sense.
They only made one mistake on Raiden's part. He technically doesn't need to absorb the fuel cells. If you guys know, there's an upgrade for Raiden to actually literally strike the enemies, and it will recharge his batteries.
Yeah. Doesn't he, like, recharge and shit? Or he could just use nano paste, right?
He could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that much.
So he could literally go on just as much as Wolverine could.
So, let's make this last segment of the TCP Prestream interesting. There was a lot of outlandish things that Hideki Kamiya said about Bayonetta being stronger than Dante. So I want to get all you guys' take on that. Like, what do you think of this?
Dante?
Didn't he say that Bayonetta was
No.
stronger and she would beat
He
him?
said he doesn't think there's any man that is stronger than her. Not that he knows
Well-
of. I was like, alright, that's a cute attempt to hide your bias.
Well, that sounds even more bullshit if you ask me, because I'm pretty sure if Dante can beat her with all the perks produced against her, then I'm sure someone else could of more power, especially in comic books. Like, you will find the most OP motherfuckers in comic books as well as video games.
Mhm.
So,
Arguably speaking, you could say that video game characters, like some more than others, are more OP than comic book characters, considering that they have no grounds of limitations versus this comic book character. You know,
yeah,
you gotta keep things a little bit more favor in comic books.
yeah, but we have characters in comics that are actually, like, they have unlimited power. This is actually, a proven thing. So, eventually, she's gonna run out of stamina, and eventually she's gonna get bodied.
And she's human, so again, fatal blows.
Yeah.
She's done.
You know, to kind of go back on the whole Kamiya thing, I don't know if he understood the fact that by DMC4, Dante, even if you go look at DMC2, Dante is so powerful that there would be no way for Bayonetta to stop her, just given that his
Stop her.
abilities and his strength has been increased over time.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm aware, because I think James, you can confirm this, because I think it says this in the 3142 art book that Dante gets stronger as he ages as well.
Yeah, the longer he's alive, the more powerful he gets. That's how it is for everybody who is in the family. Even Virgil had the same effect.
Yo, I did not know. The little tidbit I did not know is the fact that if Dante stays in Demon World, he gets stronger. I did not know
I forgot
that
about
shit.
that completely, but yeah, Mundus says that in DMC1, when he's in the underworld, he's much stronger. Which, if they had fought in the underworld, that fight would have been even faster.
Okay, me personally, I'm not sure. I don't remember that dialogue piece, but I need to look it up myself. But
He does.
that would actually make sense, considering that he's a demon. Demons are stronger than hell.
In the very last time you fight Mundus, when you go back into the real world and you get trapped in that one room in the sewers, Mundus mentions that he's weaker in the human world compared to the demon world, so that's what gives it away.
That really puts a spin on the perspective of him now that I think about it. Think about this for a minute.
He's
He is nerfed in the human world. That he's that strong. Okay. I never really considered that till you brought it up now. He's nerfed in the human world. And he's still unbeatable in there. So in hell, is he just Jesus?
He's the Jesus of hell.
He's the Saint and Inquisitor.
I would say that.
No, really, think about that, man. He's nerfed. All this time we know him, he's always in the human world, and he's nerfed.
So I guess he's going to get stronger for all of our sins.
He can have all my
Yes,
sins. I don't
yes,
give a fuck
please.
if it makes him OP. Can I donate some sins to revive Virgil if he is dead but nobody knows?
So I got 2 more questions before we wrap up, so we can hit 30 minutes, and we will be at the end of this pre-stream because this was a little special thing that I did for everyone. Question number 1 is, what do you think of the Kamiya assault? Because I saw it on Twitter, and he's pretty upset about the death battle thing. People tweeting it to him, he's very upset.
He
So
said it was garbage.
yeah, so what do you have to say about that? I mean, I kind of agree with Brandon. Like, so far, after seeing the Wolverine versus Wyden thing, this was definitely the best animation that they had in a while.
I would say ever, honestly.
Mhm.
There's a lot of work in it.
Yeah.
I would say that it kind of goes back to the whole thing about, Kamiya being ignorant when it comes to what is current in the Devil May Cry lore. He just doesn't realize that Dante is much stronger than Bayonetta in every way.
Also, didn't he say something to the effect of, I think he said he did not play the other games. He doesn't consider
He
them
owns them
his.
all.
Yeah, he owns them, but he doesn't consider them his. He didn't work on them, so whatever they do in those
This
games.
is fine. I mean, he technically didn't, but
Yeah.
credited because you didn't work on it.
Didn't he
It's in
say he
Savage
played
lore.
DMC4?
Yeah, he played 3 of. I think he played all of them. I'm not sure which one he liked the most, but he played all of them actually.
Yeah,
He used 4 as a tech demos per se for Bayonetta.
Yeah, I thought as a creator that, you know, obviously since it's in Suno's hands, he will at least give it a chance and say like, okay, I can actually respect that. I can respect that they're doing new things.
Real quick, just a little confirmation. They were right. Ninja said, "Here, your powers are weak," so which clarifies that he's stronger in Hell.
That disturbs me.
Well, I put it into.
That's like he's the best character in the fighting game, but he got nerfed, but he's still top tier.
No, I put it into perspective like this. Like, imagine if Virgil had his full power in Hell, he wasn't weakened by Dante in DMC3. That can actually create interesting scenarios, if you ask me.
I thought he had a pretty fair shot. If he came at Mundus fresh and he's in Hell, yeah, he probably could have maybe beat him.
Yeah, because, I mean, Dante did beat him. I mean, we don't know how much experience he had from DMC3 to DMC1, but Dante beat him eventually, so it's not wrong and out of the element to suspect that Virgil would have had a chance if he was at full strength down there in Hell, where his power would be significantly increased. But the last question I have for you guys is, if there was another death battle between Devil May Cry characters, who would you like to see face them?
Virgil versus Sephiroth, because that would be an interesting one.
So,
Yeah.
the sequel?
They did a 1-minute melee on it, and Virgil won. But Sephiroth said, "I'll see you again." So I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna possibly use it for a full death battle in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Knowing that, I want to see like a more legit version of Trish versus John, because I feel like Trish got cheated out, considering that she bodied both John and Bayonetta in the fight.
I think that what is it, Nero and maybe, I don't know, like somebody equivalent to him in terms of the way that they fight could potentially work.
Like someone versus Nero.
Mm.
As long as they ain't Bayonetta John, then yeah, I agree. Because I'm sorry to say it, but Nero wouldn't stand a chance.
Not any of them, just somebody that's of similar power to him.
But question is who though? Like Jane from Godhand? We know that's far-fetched, but
Yeah, you know,
But Gene's only human too.
I know.
He
I know.
is
I'm just
human.
throwing it out there.
it's kind of hard to say. I mean, you could argue, well, they can do Dante versus Nero, but at that point, fucking
Oh,
Nero.
please spare me. Nero will fucking pile drive that bitch.
I kind of want to say maybe Spawn against any of the Devil Children, but, you know, at the same time, Spawn does have his weaknesses with power, like, they are limited. So, he can't go...
He has kind of like different forms.
I know a lot of people have always wanted Dante versus Deadpool, but I just think that'll end in a damn stalemate.
Well, I mean, Deadpool does have the adamantium, but again, as it was displayed when Raiden was fighting Wolverine, that the decap factor is probably going to be in there.
But his thing though, Deadpool is not a very consistent character, so it would be like technically impossible to like beat him. Like realistically, we know Dante would beat him. Let's be honest here though, but Deadpool is a like comedic character, so it would be kind of weird.
He would just be making jokes throughout the whole battle. I guess the reason why people kind of want that is because of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where that's his rival. So that's probably why a lot of people want to
his
get
rival in Ultimate is Ghost Rider. Just want to throw it out there.
I think isn't Ghost Rider like?
Nah, doesn't Dormammu talk shit?
Yeah, Dormammu talks shit, I think, and I'm not sure. I think Ghost Rider, he can reflect people's evil back at them, but...
Dante made the devil crap his pants. Mephisto? The Satan equivalent in Marvel? Yeah.
Well, I remember Dormammu said something like Mundus was trash compared to him or something like that.
Yeah, if you beat Dante as Tomorrow, yeah, he will say that. But if it's vice versa,
Yeah, Dormammu said something like, you know, you beat Mundus, that's cute, but you can't beat me, or something like that.
I don't know how strong Dormammu is, but I'm pretty sure there's someone out
He's
there
a
that.
demon too, so
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
he's strong, but Munda's feet, as far as I'm concerned right now, do
he
strong.
rules hell. Dormammu does not, so Dormammu can go just take that L.
He can take that out.
But Demaru is pretty
Take
hype.
that L.
I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty hype.
Yeah, I like the design of his character. It looks pretty fucking sick. I think that just demon equivalents in general is stuff that I would be thinking about in terms of fighting against Dante, Nero, or Virgil, to be honest. Alright, so that's about 35 minutes. I think that's good enough for this pre-stream, so we're going to wrap it up. Basically, we're going to cut the recording here, and the people that are still watching in YouTube land, this will be uploaded to my channel, and this will be put on the TCP Podcast. So after this, the podcast will take place. We hope you guys enjoyed it. See you later. And do you guys have any last words before I cut the stream?
Dante's love, Dante's life.
Hashtag Team Dante wins.
Hashtag Camilla sucks. Gonna block you.
I'm gonna block you.
Alright, see you guys later. Alright, so we're live. So, what was this nigga saying earlier?
About Trish?
He's talking about
Yes.
how Trish dive kicks dicks into the ground.
Well, no.
So, I guess if she's on that game dive kick, she'll be overpowered, huh?
Well, yeah, probably.
Probably, she probably calls it earthquake.
There you go. Words of etiquette from Devil Hunter James. Perfect. Girls are gonna dive kick people's dicks, apparently.
Yeah, totally. That's what I said.
You
Nope.
did, though!
No,
What the
I
fuck?
said I wanted to dive kick my dick into her tits.
Alright then, that's getting quoted. So, there you have it, folks.
Ren.
What?
If I'm going dick first, does that mean it's dive dick?
Nigga, I don't want to know where you spelunk. I don't want to know that shit.
My virgin ears.
Sweet version of Murray.
Well, time to grow up, Brandon.
I don't wanna.
Someone ban this man from my life forever. But it sounded like someone was going
The fan
super.
agreed.
Dude, it sounded like
Yeah,
someone
the fan agreed.
The fan did not only agree, but it went Super Saiyan for a second. Like, fucking annoying! But I said we had 5 minutes, so... Well, we're here to describe Death Battle X. It was a short little snippet between Trish and Jean. And apparently Trish got bodied, so... Mr. Brandon here, Mr. Overtaker, the God Seer, the Titty Eater, he wanted to take over for us.
Hey, no, I eat the titty. Fuck off.
James, you know what I eat. Shut up.
Motherfucker, go back to that pancake batter.
What the? This is what Brandon say what he's gonna say. Oh my god. Never. Pancake your batter.
Hey, James, he likes tossing salad. You like tossing salad, though, so, you know.
We're never gonna
Toss
take this.
your own salad down to hell.
Toss your own salad. We're never gonna take this seriously.
Oh,
So, Mr. Brandon here wanted to describe his opinion on this death battle.
Now, for starters, though, they went the 1 minute melee style of the death battle. It's basically 1 minute melee death battle edition. Now, the problem with this is, it's literally a continuation from the Dante and Bayonetta death battle. So, it's kind of weird that they completely ignored the death battle system while it's a continuation from that particular death battle. Now, keep in mind that Trish was literally bodying both Bayonetta and Dante. So I don't see how she was losing it towards John. In fact, she had the edge in that 1 minute death battle thing. I really don't agree on how they did it though. I understand it's like a preview or a pilot episode, but they went about it the wrong way.
For real life?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Wait, We're supposed to be doing a podcast tonight, or?
No, we're talking about Death Battle X.
What the heck? Where are you, Dom?
I wasn't fucking listening. I thought we were done.
Oh my god.
Dom, your brain is like embedded into those
Dom,
ancient asses.
Just sit down, bro.
Take a seat right over there.
What the fuck were you guys talking about? I didn't know we were live.
Apparently, there was another death battle which was very short, and apparently Trish got bopped. She got bopped by Gene, and now all of a sudden this turned into a topic of discussion because I want to add this to the initial pre-stream. So I haven't seen it, but I do think it is bullshit. Like Brandon said, if she was fighting Gene and Bayonetta at the same time with no problems, then I don't know why Gene just solo bodied her out of nowhere for free. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And Trish is also, she has her abilities and feats and all that shit, right? Isn't she like still demon after all this time?
Yep.
Yeah,
She is a full
she's
demon.
and her skills like she's like moves on par with Dante, just not in power though, as far as I'm concerned.
And for the fans out there, what is Gene again?
She's almost the equivalent to Bayonetta.
No, she is just with the white hair.
Okay, so she's human, but she's equivalent to peanut butter ass. Got it.
Yeah, man. I got my Jolly stick ready.
I have no comment on that. I let Brandon speak for himself. He does not speak for behalf of the TCP.
No,
We are signing off. We are going to kick the scrub out of the call, and we will enjoy ourselves later. Take care, everyone. Don't listen to this perv, and peace.
Renegade likes pandas.
Fuck off. I heard that too, fucker. And now we're live. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Co-Operative Podcast. This is Next Revolution, and we're going to be talking a lot about the Nintendo NX. We're going to be talking a lot about all the other various gaming topics that we have on display in our precious Google document. But, skipping the formalities yet again, I would like to introduce the first person on the Co-Operative Podcast, and that is Mr. Levy the Amish Man. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hi, I would like to say Sender and Kagra, Game of the Year. Moving on.
No, I disagree, even though I haven't played it. The next person we're going to introduce is Mr. Devil Hunter James. Introduce yourself, good sir.
How's it going, guys? Good to be back.
Awesome, dude. The next person we are going to introduce is Mr. Bile Devil Dom. Introduce yourself, good sir.
How's it going, guys? I would recommend checking out Samurai Warriors 4 Empires if you haven't already. It's a really addicting game.
Game sucks.
Look at this little...
You haven't even played it.
Look at this proverbial plug on there.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Next we have Mr. Captain Chaos. Introduce yourself, good sir.
What's going on, guys? It's always good to be here.
It's always good to have you, man. Good to be a part of this. Next we have one of our guests, which is Mr. Ian. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hello, name's Ian. Thank you very much for having me on here. Look forward to what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Oh, no problem. Got a lot of interesting topics to cover. Mr. Reapers, the Alex Scrub. Introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? Hashtag free my nigga Alex. That's all I gotta say.
Hashtag never coming out.
Hashtag Alex is dead.
Oh, yeah, he got assassinated.
Shots fired?
He got assassinated by Urian.
Slander begins.
Daddy's loser.
And the last
Damn.
person we like to introduce is Mr. Urian Cause Destroy. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hey guys, glad to be back here.
It's always good to have you, man. Always good to get into these gaming topics. So we're gonna start right off the bat with the Nintendo NX, and a lot of shit got leaked, so we're gonna jump right into it. I got some bullet points here, and they said that the NX was supposed to have a controller for the most part. The controller did get visually shown according to what we see here with the patent, and it got shown off on Twitter. So first thing is first, what do you think about this thing?
I think it looks ugly, in my opinion. I think it just... the best way I can describe it,
It looks like a yoke.
A yoke?
Yeah. It's a very, stretched out tablet with 2 analog sticks on it. It's like, can we just get a controller, Nintendo? I'm tired. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I think a lot of people are pretty tired of the stupid gimmicks. They don't work for consoles, and it's been proven time and time again. I think that more money could have been put on the hardware of the console rather than the dumb gimmick of the controller being a tablet, so to speak, you know? And I think that's where a lot of the money gets put into for these consoles. Like, look at the Wii U. I think a lot of the money was put into that being a tablet rather than an actual gaming console that can compete with the Xbox One and PS4.
Well, to piggyback off of that, Dom, they definitely are appealing to a wide variety of things that I don't know that is going to specifically work, because now they have this controller where it has infrared sensing and GPS tracking, similar to what the Kinect had. So, and we know how the Kinect pretty much failed, right? Like, on both regards.
Yeah, it was a better medical tool than it was an actual gaming device.
A medical tool.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's like something like I want to say it was like the Atari Jaguar or something that was a better medical or a dental tool, you know, than it was a gaming device.
Wait, it was a dental tool?
Yeah, I think they converted it into a dental device or whatever, because it was so bad and nobody actually wanted the thing, that it actually worked better for dental than it did for gaming. And that was the problem with the the Kinect. The Kinect worked better for, you know, medical and various other things rather than actual gaming, which it's like ridiculous.
And it said hello to the government, because the government can spy through it.
Or it could be a device that kills you, like the Virtual Boy, which everyone has fond memories of, right?
The Virtual Boy kill you?
No.
Was it because it was like seizure inducing?
Yeah, it was all red. It was all red.
Red and black. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing what it looked like when you actually play that thing. It's I don't know how somebody could do that.
So Chaos, real quick, what do you think about this controller?
It looks like it would be really awkward to hold, like the same way it would be awkward to hold the tablet controller for the Wii U. It looks like they're still going with the same idea, but it looks like a slimmer controller. It actually looks like an actual controller. The only difference is it doesn't look like it has any analog sticks or anything like that, but it looks like the standard controller in that it has the handles, but it doesn't have like these 2 buttons on opposite ends, so it just would be really weird to hold. I can't imagine playing a game with it. So I don't know what they're thinking with this. It's like pretty much what Dom said. They're going with these really like weird ideas that nobody really wants. Like the thing with the tablet for the Wii U, they're just doing that all over again with the NX, and it looks like they're repeating the same mistakes. So I really don't know how this is going to be in any way innovative. So I don't know. That's just my take on it.
I think they're trying to pass off those 2 things on the ends to the right and left as analog sticks. It just looks weird considering the fact that they're very small, and it looks like with this whole thing they're trying to cater to the whole touchpad craze, because there's a lot of stuff with that glass there.
Another thing I want to point out real quick: the analog sticks are hexagonal. Like, what's up with that?
Why?
I have no idea.
I didn't even notice that. Why, Nintendo?
Yeah, I did.
They've done that with the GameCube, I believe.
Oh, the GameCube one wasn't quite as bad though.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I think the worst Nintendo controller is still to date the N64, because a lot of people didn't really like it. It wasn't comfortable, in my opinion.
Yeah. Not a big fan of that one either.
So.
And then there was the arcade stick.
So it seems like the general consensus on this controller is a lot of people don't like it. Do you have anything to say about this, Ian?
I feel like it's kind of a step backwards from the Wii U gamepad, because I look at this picture of this controller, or whatever it's supposed to be, and it looks like a prototype bootleg Wii U gamepad, because you got the screen on there, and then you got the sticks. It doesn't look great. It's too far spaced apart. There's too much horizontal view rather than, you know, vertical view, so I feel like I'm seeing less of the actual game itself, assuming what I'm looking at is going to be the final product, of course. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah, all it reminds me to me is like they took the Pro controller, stretched it out, and put the tablet onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the way this is looking
Yeah.
at all.
You know,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead,
It's
Lovey.
like someone made a joke about this. They said like the only thing it'll be used for is for hentai games.
Dude, someone fucking
It's already been done.
someone fucking photoshopped this controller, like just the base of it, on Stewie Griffin's face from Family Guy. I couldn't stop laughing.
It looks like his head. Now that I think about it even more. Or
Yeah,
his
it looks
Hey
like his
Arnold.
head.
Football controller.
Or the or Arnold's head from Hey Arnold.
Well, unless
Oh,
they
God.
release, it's going to be the same thing with the Wii U. Unless they release another alternative controller, then it's going to be a complete failure. I mean, that's just my opinion. But
I was just gonna bring that up, and I actually kind of want to go off of that. You know, I really feel like they should just include a standard controller, because as far as I'm aware, the Wii U is kind of forced to have that tablet, and if that goes away, you have to, you know, jump through hoops and ladders just to get Nintendo to help you out with replacing the thing, because they don't sell it separately.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was one of the faults about the Wii U controller. Is that you
From
can
what
break the
I've
screen,
heard
that's
is
it.
that, yeah, and from what I've heard, third-party Wii U controllers do not, or Wii U tablets don't work properly. They don't even connect to the system properly, or something like that. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know how accurate that is, so you'd have to correct me on anything regarding that. But that said, you know,
No, I was
all
gonna
I
say
know
you're
is that it
actually
doesn't
right
work.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have to move on to the next subject. There's a variety of bullet points there. This is the Cliff Notes version. So the most important information that was displayed about the NX, or the rumors that came out, is as follows. It says closest to power as an Xbox One. The strengths of the device and its usability has ease of use. It will take multiplayer, AR, and the Street Pass concept to a whole new level. It will offer a possibly free online service. It's going to have a subscription option. I don't know. Like, it's cross information, so they supposedly are going to have a free service, but you can subscribe to something yearly or monthly. The new questions related to the backwards compatibility, digital purchases, and the support for previously owned digital and physical media is up for consideration. And it will possibly have 4K 60 FPS streaming. What do you think about most of these bullet points that's being revealed for the Nintendo NX? I will go with
console.
hold on, wait. I was a little bit disorganized there, so I'm gonna start with Levy first. Levy, what do you think about this?
I was gonna say personally, the whole thing about it being almost like the Xbox One, it's kind of like they're trying to go for an HD console, but no. I'm sorry, but Sony has beaten you to that. I'm sorry. But for the subscription thing, I think they're probably going to do something like with Xbox Live with a gold membership, or PlayStation Plus with the free shit.
You know, I was kind of thinking maybe, just maybe, they would screw with the backwards compatibility. I don't know why I have this sinking feeling that they might put some sort of service on that so people can get into that, but I just think that they might screw with that, and then overall the online could be free, considering the fact that there's the virtual console.
Yeah, there's that.
So, Dom, what do you think about all these bullet points?
Wasn't there also rumors going around that the console itself was supposed to be like 900p and it was supposed to like match the Xbox One?
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed messages going around about that,
So,
saying it's either going to be
mean,
4K 60 or 900p 60. I don't know what's going to be the deal, but if it's the latter, then it's a detriment.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's because this is Nintendo. Look at how they treated the Wii and the Wii U. Fairly underpowered consoles, you know, not up to date. The Wii U should have been what came out right around the time the PS3 and Xbox 360 were out, because that was almost the equivalent of what most of the consoles could handle, or just what was being released, because most games on both the PS3 and 360 were coming out at like 720p anyway. You know, and that said, if they were to go with the 4K streaming and just 4K capabilities, that right there would automatically say, well, okay, this is a much more powerful console compared to the PS4 and Xbox One, because they're not up to date with what's current in terms of quality and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. That's been like pretty much a horror story for Nintendo. It's like they fail to capitalize on technology, and this is why a lot of people don't give them third-party support, because they don't seem to realize that a lot of people, they need more space, they need more games to be cutting edge. I mean, obviously, it's still proven that you can make a good first-party game with the stuff that's applied as long as you know how to do it. But at the same time, it's like the developers are demanding more, and Nintendo is not delivering on that.
Yeah, I think if what they're going for with this new console is 900p 60 frames a second, then they're already kind of behind, because you think about the Xbox One was struggling to run certain games at 1080p, and not to mention the PS4 is even coming out with another one that's going to be able to apparently run games at 4K resolution. So when this console launches, it's going to technologically, at least from a technical standpoint, it's going to be behind. Like, it's not going to be able to stand up to at least not the PS4. Maybe the Xbox One, maybe, but even that might be a stretch considering Nintendo. So I don't know.
James, how do you feel about this?
In terms of the console being underpowered?
Underpowered, yeah, because that seems to be, the talk of the town for now.
I don't know what's with Nintendo not wanting to upgrade. They have a lot of money, so I don't see that being the issue, especially from their handheld market. I just think it's dumb that they refuse to step up the standards.
Yeah,
they're just gonna have a lot to contend with.
This is why they're behind, because they refuse to put the Wii up to par with the Xbone or the PS4.
How do you feel
and
about
now probably the same thing gonna happen again.
Kaz, you there? I think he's ripped.
Me?
Yeah. How do you feel about the Nintendo NX possibly being underpowered recording?
Actually, this is the first time I heard about it. I didn't even know this was like a thing till right now. But I can't really say much about it. But you gotta really do something amazing to outdone the PlayStation and even the Xbox One. I know what people want is like 4K quality, which I don't know if it's gonna happen even in the next gen. But that's one way to top a PS4 right now. I don't think Nintendo will ever actually.
Yeah, I even think that 4K achievement is possibly not gonna happen unless they really, really step up their game. They have, because the consoles have not achieved that yet, so it'll definitely be a stepping stone in the right direction. But considering the fact that they can't even keep up to the standard of today, which is 1080p 60 frames per second, that's going to be hard for them to make that goal and make it in a relatively, I want to say, easy amount of time, considering that a lot of people are going to be looking at their games and the performance of them, and if they are not up to standard, then people are just going to say, why can't I just get a PC that has these capabilities that's going to be coming in the future that people utilize already? So I think that Nintendo has a lot to step up to when it comes to next generation consoles, and if this doesn't deliver, then it's going to be people asking, why can't I just play on my PS4, PC, or Xbox One without worrying about this? So that's how I feel on it personally. Yeah. Ian, you have any thoughts on the NX possibly being underpowered?
Yeah, I have a few. I'm glad you mentioned people picking PS4 and Xbox One without a hassle over the new Wii system, because I do have one small gripe with the NX, assuming all these bullet points are true. I think all the ideas are great, close to Xbox One in terms of power. It's a good idea. Ease of use, great idea for kids, great idea for adults. Consistency obviously worked for Xbox with Xbox Live and PlayStation with PS4. But a lot of the questions you get when you're, you know, in electronics retail is, what would you recommend that I get for my kid? What would you recommend to me? And a lot of that boils down to games. What games does this system have? So if the NX is supposed to already compete with PS4 and Xbox One, then it's kind of already failed, because on launch, we're under the assumption it's not going to have too many games available, whereas Xbox One already has titles like, you know, Halo 5, Call of Duty 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, and the same could be said for PS4. So, you know, what's exactly going to stop me from saying I would recommend this system with this many games over this new system that just came out and is as strong as all these other systems, but doesn't have any games for it? I feel like that's probably going to be the NX's biggest problem, assuming all of these bullet points are, you know, functions that it can go with. Personally.
Well, for right now, we're going to consider them as rumors, but there's a lot of patents getting leaked. I do think the controller thing is legit, because that's how the patent looked way before that picture got leaked on Twitter, and that's how it's looking to be now. So I'm starting to believe that's becoming legit. But I guess for anyone who has seen the console itself, what do you think of it? I'm going to start with James. Like, you seen the NX, right? The prototype?
The console itself?
The Tron box?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a weird-ass Blu-ray player, to be honest. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, I'm going to dump that in the chat for people to see if I can find it. But for anyone else who has seen the Nintendo NX, what do you think of the base prototype model?
It looks like they're going off the same design as Xbox One, but with some minor differences. Just with the VCR look, I guess, because it does look like a VCR. I don't know why they thought that was a good design choice, honestly, because it doesn't look that appealing. It looks just really weird. I don't know what's up with that directional pad thing on the front they got going there. There's also these. I know that's the power button at the top on the right side. I don't know what those other three buttons are for. I'm assuming maybe one of them is maybe a sleep function. I want to guess and say that's probably what it is.
Like rest mode.
Yeah,
something like that. Overall, it just, I don't know. It looks really strange.
They mentioned that there was going to be call support for the NX, to where you can call people with the push of a button. So
I mean, like voice chat?
Yeah, like voice chat. So I'm assuming that one of those buttons might have something to do with that. I dropped it in chat for the people who didn't see it yet.
Honestly, that seems rather pointless to me, because you could just do that through some menus. You know, it's not really. I guess if you're lazy and you just want to do it with push a button, then sure. But
why the fuck would you want to make a phone call with your damn Nintendo console, though?
Because why the fuck not?
I don't know.
Because we have Skype.
Yeah, it's not like people don't have Skype or Discord or anything. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous, right?
Unnecessary is what it is.
Yeah.
I think I might have one idea to why it might look like that. Remember the Super Nintendo? Remember the NES? How it looked bulky?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to. I think for this point they're trying to play with our nostalgia, because most people love Nintendo for the Super Nintendo, the NES, and also the N64. Having it look like that, it'd be like, hey, we made games in the past that were good too. Love us.
Yeah, this is kind of this whole don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain scenario, where it's like, oh, look at how you know, you pay attention to the nostalgia rather than what's going on right now with the company and the games and whatnot.
Because most of the people that might buy it are usually fans of Nintendo that loved them in the past.
It's true.
Some of them. If some of them have common sense, they'll say that it's stupid.
Mario still sells.
Yeah, and the Kinect features,
unfortunately.
Yeah, and the Kinect features aren't appealing, in my opinion. I don't like those at all. The infrared. I kind of just want to press a button and get to where I need to go, instead of having to shout at my console or smash at the front of it to try to make things work.
Do it! I just want Nintendo to make a normal console with a normal controller, just so I can play. I don't have to look at the fucking controller to see my map. I just want something normal, not something fucking weird.
Yeah, like the Are you talking about like the old consoles in the past?
Basically, something that's not intrusive.
Yeah, I mean, I'd even take a GameCube controller for.
It's an interesting idea, but it's like, here's the thing with Nintendo: they do have interesting ideas, but they're just badly implemented. I think that's the whole thing about them.
Yeah.
Well, one of the bullet points that I saw was talking about the backwards compatibility options. To some extent, what would you guys like to see implemented back into the NX if they decided to use legacy controllers or legacy games or legacy peripherals? I'm going to start with Reapers. What do you think?
If they're gonna do that, then they might as well bring the light gun back and let me do Duck Hunt.
Oh, you know what? That would be boss. I like that.
That would be awesome.
Like a remake of Duck Hunt.
Do that. That would be cool.
I would really like that. What about you, Levy?
If they could bring back, like, I'm starting to, like, people are not liking the tablet controller, which, hell, I don't like the tablet that much. I mean, it's useful if it's done right, but, yeah, just have it so you can actually use the Pro controllers and all that. I mean, an actual controller and all that.
I personally would like to see them mess around with the nunchuck. I think that would be pretty cool if they put that back.
Yeah, the Wiimote and all that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. What about you, Chaos?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
What legacy peripherals would you like to see them bring back if they decided to implement it into the next?
I can't speak for myself because I've only ever used the Wiimote and the nunchucks, so I don't really know about the gun or anything like that. So
that's old school Nintendo, man.
That was the NES, dude.
That's old school.
I really don't have any preference, honestly. I've never really been if I wanted to play my Wii, I would just go play the Wii. You know, I don't really see the point in doing either, in my opinion, but I don't know.
What about you, Cos?
Kind of on Reapers with this one because I have not ever owned a Nintendo, like anything, not even like 3DS, nothing. But the only game I played on it was the Duck Hunt, and I love that game. So if they could make something like that, or remake it, actually, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
But I think it would be kind of silly to point a gun at the screen by this time now. So something maybe newer, something different.
Yeah. What about
the assault rifle?
I'm on board with the Duck Hunt idea. Actually, just light gun in general, I think is a great idea.
Yeah, light gun sounds cool.
That fucking bazooka they had before, you remember that shit?
Oh, the Super Scope?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Instead, we had to fix it with the times. The assault rifle.
No. The hypest shit was either House of the Dead 3 or the one where it gave you the submachine gun. Because House of the Dead 3 gave you, I think it was either the shotgun or the submachine gun light gun, and that was awesome. I fucking love that thing.
I also wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to Dark Side Chronicles, Resident Evil. Maybe another one.
Yeah, to me, that game did not play well with a controller. I tried.
Oh yeah, I actually tried playing that with a controller too. It felt really strange.
So weird. So Dom, I guess your answer is the same. Some light gun shit.
I would actually like to see some more GameCube stuff. I feel like that particular console was not really, supported by them. Yeah, it was very underappreciated. There are some great games on there that are really hard to find now, like Eternal Darkness and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. I know a lot of people try to look for those games, and it'd be great to get like digital versions of those on the next console, if not the Wii U, because I think a lot of people would really like to play those games. It would also be nice to see some, Resident Evil on there if it's the remake, Zero, or even RE4. And I'm not talking about the fucking Wii edition. I'm talking about, the HD ports for those games.
Yeah, I think that's where Nintendo really needs, because they have all these remakes and remasters and ports. And every time I see them, it seems like Nintendo always gets the short end of the stick.
Like you would think that if they got a remaster or something, they'd get the best version because they would get like console exclusive content that you can only get on the Nintendo. Like that's part of the reason why Bayonetta 1 and 2 are considered to be on the Wii U are considered to be the best versions of that game, at least Bayonetta 1, because you get, that new content and you also get possibly the best fixes for Bayonetta 1.
I kind of want to piggyback a little bit off of what Dom said. I really think that, at least if I could suggest anything to Nintendo, just remaster some of the old GameCube games, like Eternal Darkness or the Twin Snakes, because that would be a good step in the right direction. They could seriously make some money off that. Look at how well Bayonetta they're sold.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you're going.
Well, they kind. I was gonna say they kind.
Sorry.
I was gonna say they kind of did that with the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. That's what I was gonna.
Yeah, I was about to actually point that out too.
Ah, yeah.
Look how well those sell.
Great minds.
But I was just saying I'd like to see more of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say real quick, I guess the last two rumors about the NX before you wrap up, Jesus, that was fast, was the fact that it supposedly has this infrared camera and GPS tracking with the controller like the Kinect. So, given how the negative, reception of the Kinect happened, do you think that Nintendo could have success with applying the same features? I'm gonna start with Chaos. What do you think?
With applying the same features as with the Kinect?
Yeah, because they have infrared camera and GPS tracking, which is quote unquote similar to how the Kinect operated.
Oh. No, I don't know why they'd implement that in the first place unless they're gonna do that whole spying shit that they were doing with the One, apparently.
Here comes the motherfucking CIA knocking at our door.
Yeah, so
Were
that
you looking at
doesn't
porn?
obviously sit right with me, and it really shouldn't sit right with anyone else. So I don't know why you'd even want that.
Who would watch you jerking off to that shit? You know it was you.
Why were you looking at porn with the Kinect?
Yeah.
Why is the CIA trying to look at me fapping?
Why are you looking at that pussy?
What?
Well, they probably look at you when you're browsing through the internet.
They're saying maybe they're lonely people and they need their form of entertainment.
It's just another way for Aiden Pierce to hack into your house to look inside.
God.
And then he sees James fapping the Fox Girl skin. It's like, no.
I think it's getting a little bit too personal now.
Listen, there's no force on this earth can tell me what I can and can't fap to.
And then he ends up killing himself because his eyes are bleeding.
Into the Fox Girl experience.
Jesus fucking Christ, Levy. Someone get this man
a
a shrink.
hentai experience.
No, don't give me a shrink. I don't need them.
No, but in all seriousness, I think that, yeah, it's very intrusive on your, your secretive stuff. So I wouldn't like that at all. I would feel uncomfortable. Like I heard about them doing that with the spy cam for the Kinect. I think that, like I said, if this stuff doesn't work, I'm gonna stick by it. If these games aren't fun, if the features don't work out, then it's just gonna be shovelware. Like who in their right mind still uses the Kinect for anything entertaining these days? Like who?
It's a paperweight.
It's a giant black paperweight, and I guarantee you that people will still be pissed off if Xbox didn't come out and say we're bundling new consoles without the Kinect, because I remember that was mandatory for the Xbox One when it came out, and they said they couldn't change it for the longest. Like you have to have the Kinect to make the console function right.
Yeah, but we found out pretty quickly that was bullshit because of how many people complained about it and the backlash it got. They took it out. So, obviously you don't need the Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like as long as it's not mandatory, as long as it's optional, and as long as I don't mind if it's something that they develop for and they have support and they put out the content for that purpose on the new motion control thing. Just as long as it's good and it feels good, then that's all I care about. If it functions well with the games, that's fine. But if it doesn't, then it's going to make all the games feel awkward. And I guarantee that the developers aren't going to support it because they feel it's intrusive to their system yet.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were going to segue into the next question, which was talking about third-party support. So this is the last one. Considering how they said that the NX is going to be, ease of use and people were going to be able to develop for it much faster, do you think that this will entice all the third-party developers, considering the fact that they abandoned support for the Wii U last generation? I mean, this generation, my bad.
Do you mind if I go first?
Go ahead, Dom.
Yep.
The thing is that the reason why a lot of people, at least in the Western world of gaming, or a lot of companies don't even support it, is because there's a lack of people that purchased the Wii U. So I don't think that it would make a difference if you can develop faster for the NX if people aren't jumping over to the NX itself. Of course, this could change if Nintendo decides to actually make their console region free, because that is one of the biggest complaints that their consoles have been getting. Because I don't think they've had a region free console since the Super Nintendo, if I'm not mistaken.
DS.
Oh, DS. So
the DS was region free.
Well, anyways, the point being is that that is one thing that people will complain about and would like to see changed, because you see a lot more support in Japan than in the Western regions. And I think if people saw that the console was region free, they'd be more willing to jump on it, because if they're not getting games here in the West, they could sure as hell import games and get a good experience that way.
Dom, let me ask you a question. Has Nintendo consoles always been region locked?
I'm not too familiar with every single console. I'm just aware of the fact that with like the NES, if you got the top loader, you can play Japanese games. If you took out the pins from the Super Nintendo, you could play Super Famicom games that way. So I'm not extremely familiar with what has been region free and what hasn't been, but I do know of those few consoles that they've had that have the potential of being region free if you get specific versions or do specific things to those consoles.
And to piggyback off of that, I think that that's kind of a missed opportunity if they don't do that, considering the fact that I think it was PS4 that allowed their console to be region free. Like, it's not region locked anymore. To
PlayStation 3.
No, PlayStation 3.
Oh, PS3. Yeah, okay. So it was the PS3 that did that. That's pretty fucking dope that they did that last generation.
Xbox 360 was somewhat region free. Only some games would actually play for it, but PS3 did it better.
Yep.
A majority of the games on the 360, to my knowledge, are region locked, but there are a few non-region locked games that you can play on the 360.
Metro 2033.
Lots of what is it? Like rail shooters from Japan, I think, are region free for the 360.
Oh no.
I mean, not rail shooters, but what is it? The actually, that they would be rail shooters if they're like ship-based rail shooters and you're side-scrolling and whatnot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I really think if they were going to have more third-party developers want to, work on the NX, they would. I mean, what third-party developers usually look at is how well does a game sell in a certain system, when they consider if they should even port the game over to that system. And the Wii U typically, as far as I know, hasn't really, at least in terms of third-party games, doesn't sell very well. So I don't really think, at least initially, they're going to be too enthused about it. I mean, sure, yeah, the fact that they could potentially, it'd be easier to work with, that would definitely make them more inclined to do it. But they would also, like, the main thing is just how well it would sell. And also another thing that, Dom mentioned is that the region lock thing, that's another thing they take into consideration. It's not going to sell too well in a system that's, potentially going to be region locked. So I don't know. I don't really think it, unless they change that, it's not, I mean, they're already kind of doomed from the start, to be honest, because of the what's been going on with the Wii U and everything. So I don't know. It's, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but in my opinion, it's not really gonna be too. They're not going to get too lucky with the third-party developers.
That's good stuff, man. I definitely agree with what a lot of you guys are saying. I think that if they don't have the options placed there, then the console, it's going to be like, what's the point of buying it? Even if it's the cheapest console on the market, because I see that Nintendo has that trend of trying to make their console very cheap, very accessible, so people can get their hands on it, but it's not going to mean anything if there's nothing that the system can give to the consumer. So I'm going to... James, what do you think about this? Do you think that the NX will be destined for greatness with third-party support, or will it fail if it doesn't get it?
It's definitely going to fail if it doesn't get it, in my opinion.
What about you, Ian?
I agree. I don't see it getting too much third-party support, and it kind of needs it. The Wii U, in general, kind of needs it, and it's not getting it at all. So I don't see the NX being a huge success with third-party, especially if it doesn't even get it in the first place.
Interesting. What do you think, Levy?
Yeah. The only thing that it ever got third-party for was the handheld, but yeah, I think the reason why they won't get any third-party support is because due to the fact that the Wii U, they gave up on it. What's gonna make? Yeah, it's like they said. What's gonna make them look at the system and be like, "Will it sell well for it?"
Yeah, if it's a smash hit or not, it's gonna be like,
it's a smash hit. I'm a millionaire. It's like, fuck no. No, I think the NX, it definitely needs the third-party support, or else it will be a flop. It'll be the next Virtual Boy.
Oh god, damn.
That's tough.
Shots fired. What about you?
I'm sorry, Nintendo. I like your cup games, but
Cos says skip him. You say he doesn't know.
What about you then?
Oh yeah, skip me.
Alright, let me see.
Skip it.
I think it was Reapers.
Oh.
It really depends. If the console sells well, then third parties will obviously look at it and be like, alright, we can put our stuff here because it's selling. But if it fucking shit bombs, and there's no fucking way anybody's gonna touch that, just like the Wii U, unfortunately.
What's this? Did they make a new controller? No. That was their main reason why the Wii U didn't sell too well, is because they didn't really think about how they could make the hardwire into the controller. That's the main reason why.
So we're gonna move on to, I think that's the end of the NX news. Yeah, it has a bleak outlook. I'm just gonna wait and see what it does, and will it get the support that it so severely needs, because I think that's going to be the deciding factor if I'm going to buy the console or not. If it doesn't have the games that I like on there from other developers, if it doesn't have the support, if it's just counterintuitive as fuck with that controller, then I'm just gonna skip out on it entirely and stick to my console that I have at hand. So
Xbox One?
Fuck no. So we're going to move on to the other topics in the rest of the document, and I think that Mr. Levy the Amish Man should read off one of his faves so we can go ahead and answer that.
Oh, good. Goody, good gumdrops. No more shitting on Nintendo, goody.
Yeah. Well, we had the key to the title, man.
Okay. I had to do with this because of the PlayStation TV. The first question.
Alright, shoot.
The PlayStation TV has been officially discontinued from Japan and is no longer getting any support from the current developer. There were reports cited from the Japanese sales tracking outfit dubbed Media Create, which only stated from that the PS TV pushed 185,000 units in the total lifetime of its initial launch. What do you think about this news? And you think the same will happen to the West?
Yes, I do.
Well, then again, nowadays in the West, they look at the Vita as a joke. I mean, I swear to God, I think someone mentioned whenever they interviewed them about the Vita, they said that it's more of a legacy platform, that they will not support the Vita anymore.
The thing is, though, is that even if it's a legacy platform, Sony has also a habit of discontinuing things. This happens with games, their first-party games, no doubt, on their servers. This happens with things like the PSP, PS2. You know, you can't buy those things like legit anymore from a store. You have to go online and try to find it. So I think that that is going to happen to the Vita. It's unfortunate considering the fact that I have a Vita, and for the most part I thought it was pretty decent for the games that were on there and the functionality. But now it seems like they're taking things away, like, you know, Skype, Facebook, they're taking away the PSP store. You know, they're taking stuff away. So I think that it's going to get to a point where Sony doesn't want to support it anymore, and they're going to stick to their main home console, which is the PlayStation, you know, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, etc.
Oh, are we talking about the PlayStation TV?
Yeah, the PlayStation TV being discontinued in Japan.
Yeah, that's I actually didn't know about that when I saw the question. That kind of surprised me.
Anybody else?
But do you think it will happen in the West though, Chaos?
Yeah.
I probably, just because it's not as far as I know, it's not a very popular thing. So it seemed like it'd be one of those things that's more popular in Japan. So that's why I'm a little bit surprised that it's actually being discontinued in Japan. So I'm pretty sure the West it probably will be. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I think it's actually a pretty useful accessory, considering, you know, you can pretty much play PlayStation Vita games on the TV. So that's kind of disappointing to me that that's going to happen.
Dom, you're saying
I'll say
something?
this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say this. The thing about the Vita TV and just the Vita in general, Sony kind of fucked up on their own part, because they, you know, overpriced the memory sticks. They didn't really do much advertising, or they didn't really market both the Vita and the Vita TV very well. And I think that it's going to get to the point where, yes, it's bound to fail in the West, and they might end up going the way with similar to how like the PlayStation 1 and the Dreamcast are, where you can actually get development kits for those and still develop for that. So I think that eventually people will get their hands on, you know, Vita development kits and just develop games well after its life cycle is over.
Yeah, the Vita is it's a decent system, but yeah, Sony really did screw up with the marketing, with the memory sticks and everything. How they made memory sticks exclusive. They should have just done the thing that they did with the PSP, where you could just do like a flash memory or something like that. You just use any old memory, any memory stick, didn't matter. So I don't know. I think that was a huge screw up on their part. It is a good system, but yeah, it's unfortunately it is slowly dying, or more specifically, it's more catered to the JRPG crowd.
Yeah, and another side point, I guess, is there's just some things that happened with the Vita that were just absolutely stupid, like the whole memory cards being overpriced. I just hated that so much. It's like Sony knew they were going to gouge everyone dry from that, and they were going to overprice things compared to how the PSP was, where you can use like third-party peripherals for the memory cards, and they weren't that overpriced. So yeah, I think that stuff like that, just overall dumb decisions and not supporting it, was probably the nail in the coffin. So a lot of other features are going to expire because of that, because they just don't, you know, they don't have the willpower or time to do it, and they want to focus on their main asset, which is the PS4 as far as the gaming market is concerned.
Yeah, it definitely does seem that's where more of their focus is right now, which isn't a bad thing. But
it's not bad, but it sucks.
Yeah, it is a shame, because the Vita did have a lot of promise, and I do think, like Dom said, people will stick around after, you know, after the developers stop developing for it. People will, you know, do whatever with Vita. I can see that.
I gotta say, thank God for the modders though, because I think that I went on like a site, and that was the first time that I seen like a Vita with the capture card embedded into it. It went for an insane amount, but that's the first time that I see something like that. So I will attest to the fact that people are going to take the access given and they're going to work on them and make them greater. That's always a good thing to see when it comes to technology or, you know, games or services. People will try to keep them alive for as long as possible. So at least that's the good news out of the whole disappointing bummer that is being discontinued in Japan. So does anyone else has any opinions on this?
Well, I was going to say, you did mention the capture devices. That's another thing about the PlayStation TV is it was fairly affordable, and you could record certain games, well, certain PS Vita games with it, and it's a affordable alternative to the capture device, which is really expensive. So that's another bummer there if you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you when you say certain? Is it like the HDCP blockage, or what is the reason for like
some games wouldn't work on in general you couldn't play some games on PlayStation TV. I remember Muramasa Rebirth was one of them that you couldn't actually play, although apparently somebody had found a workaround for it, so I'm not really sure how well that works.
Hold on.
I thought Muramasa was compatible. I was thinking something like East Memories of Celceta.
No, hold on. Wasn't another flaw of the PlayStation TV was the fact that they didn't have full functionality for all of the games listed because of the controls, like the touch controls?
Yeah, because they gave you a PS3 controller rather than a PS4 controller. And you'd think that because the PS4 controller has a touchpad, that could, you know, make use of the quote-unquote touch controls of the Vita, they would do that, but no, they decided to use the PlayStation 3 controller.
Oh, yeah.
I think how it worked was they would just dedicate a button on the PS3 controller to the touch functionality they would have used on the Vita. So it's just like you press a button instead of you touching anything.
And the paper trail is obvious because it really makes sense, given the fact that I think they released like a list of games that were compatible with the system. So it really makes sense that they're going out of their way to try to discontinue the service and not really give any support for it. I don't know why, but I just don't get it how they released this list of games that were compatible with the system and they're discontinuing it in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes no sense because even though the PSP support died in the US, it was still going strong in Japan.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that the reason they're doing all that ties into the sales. The fact that it really was not selling that well is unfortunate that they would kill it off, but I think that any company would probably do something like that if they noticed something was failing, even if it's popular with like their fan base or not, or if it's decent, like a cult hit, they would still kill it off because of sales. So that's the only reason why it makes sense that they would do something like that, but it sucks at the same time because like I think that outside of Nintendo, there's really no other mobile competitor, and they're trying to shift all the focus to the iOS, which is, again, I don't play games on my phone, so I don't do that shit. So that's why it sucks, because I'd rather play on a handheld than on my phone. So does anyone else have any questions for this?
No, I think we're good for the most part.
Alright then, Mr. Reapers, you can pick the next topic.
Let me see what we got here.
Oh, and really quickly while you search for that, Levy, I need you to be on strike-through duty.
Oh, right. Hang on. So get rid of 3 and 1?
Yeah, get rid of all the ones we answered.
And 4?
Right.
All the ones we answered.
Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna do question number 6. Microsoft Studios has canceled the upcoming free-to-play Xbox One exclusive game, Fable Legends, and is shutting down its UK development team, Lionhead Studios. What are your thoughts on these developments, and how will this affect Microsoft and the Xbox One?
Coming from someone that actually has played Fable, it's kind of shitty that Microsoft just automatically decides to shut them down.
Didn't they go bankrupt? Lionhead?
They did?
I thought Lionhead went bankrupt. That's why they're not doing it anymore.
No. Microsoft decided to cancel it.
Maybe they saw it would fail? I mean,
Well-
Fable's been on a decline since after Fable 2.
I was gonna say,
Let's not joke. Fable's gone downhill since after
Fable
2.
has definitely not been decent since the at least from what I heard since the first game. I can't.
It looks terrible.
2 is good. 2 is actually pretty good, but yeah, beyond 2, 3 is trash.
I was gonna say, I see that Brandon typed in the chat that Fable Legends was supposed to be on the not the PS4, the PC and the Xbox One anyway. So I was thinking that, well, it leads into the next question, but I was thinking that since they lost another exclusive, it's like, oh, there goes another one.
Yeah, they're dropping like flies, like for real.
Yep.
Didn't Sony steal them?
Yeah, that's
Recently, they took them now.
That's the
Yeah, that
bullet
was the
point.
bullet
Like
point.
Sony held a recruitment drive, and they're picking up the Fable team.
Smart move.
Well, maybe they
talent.
could recover from. Maybe they might bring it back if that's the case. Who knows?
And then Peter Molyneux is like, I have a new game. It's not called Fable.
No, fuck
It's
no.
not called Fable. It's called Story.
Like this is my thing
He's
with
like
Fable.
The Capcom of UK.
Like this is my thing with Fable. Like Peter Molyneux will make all these promises and say that this is gonna be the best game ever, and then you play it and it's just this really, bland dungeon crawler. Has nothing really to it in terms of character or story, and it's just
Would you say he
repetitive.
pulls a Capcom Chaos? Overhyped?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he quit, didn't he?
No, he was fired for his stupid shit, finally.
No, I think he's heading his own studio right now.
He is? Oh, God.
I think so. Either that or he's working on his own game, because I know that someone supposedly hacked his Twitter account like long ago. This was forever ago. But they hacked his account and said that he was quitting the industry for good, and then he made a rebuttal saying, oh, it was just a hack. I'm still continuing on my projects.
No.
Damn.
I know the most recent thing he did was Beyond Eyes, and I don't know shit about that game. So.
Me
Who,
neither.
Peter Molyneux?
Yeah.
Or was that him or was that somebody else? I think it was
I don't
remember.
know. Like, I don't know what this man has been working on, to be honest. Like, ever since, I think he's just going to be known for that guy who created Fable, and that's it. Because I don't know any of his other games outside of that.
Shadowrun. I think he made Shadowrun.
He did?
The original.
I did not know that. I think he also made, like, Sim City or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, I don't know him for anything else.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I need to play the Fable series, so it doesn't really upset me that much. It's a shame, sure. I mean, I would like to see the Fable series maybe recover, be as good as the first game apparently was, but the past two entries haven't been too impressive, and I don't know.
2 is okay. 3 is shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Lost Chapters was the best.
If you get, I would say Chaos, get Fable Anniversary because it's just Lost Chapters remastered.
It's really
Okay,
good.
yeah, I think
It's really good.
I think I do have the first game on Steam.
I think I gifted that to you a long
Yeah,
time
you did
ago.
give that to me.
Does anyone else have a opinion on, Fable Legends being canned, and does anyone else think that Sony doing that recruitment drive was a smart move?
I think it is because it shows that Microsoft is getting rid of people and then Sony's just taking them in. It's also showing that they're just taking all these people that have been like kicked to the curb, like
Kojima.
Yeah,
Kojima was a big win.
That was a big win, yeah.
That was a big win for Sony. I'm like, Sony, congrats. You deserve all the wins for E3.
I love how they're taking advantage of these bad situations, like Kojima gets kicked off.
Yeah, like a
Konami
smart
and-
business.
It's a smart
pretty much.
strategy.
Yeah,
I
that is
hate to
good
sound like
PR.
a fanboy here, but it seems like they're just going to be like the saviors of gaming at this point. It's
Like-
like Kojima's coming back.
Well,
you
there's
know.
some stuff that Sony has done that is questionable, like I said.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely, like every other company out there. But
I'm not saying they're like infallible at all. Like they've got problems. It's just that they're the company right now that is doing like the lesser of the
The
three
most good.
evils, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is this is really good PR. I don't think that when looking at news like this, it's necessarily bad among the slew of shit that we already seen. So I think that this is great for them to sort of gain from Microsoft's loss in a sense. And I think this is also great that they have a chance to be with a studio that is, for the most part, keeping a lot of things under tight control. Like the stuff with Kojima is supposedly going well, so here's hoping that those guys have a clean run with Sony themselves. So does anyone else have any questions on this?
No.
All right.
Sir?
I'll pass on this one.
Did you say something, Ian?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and I would actually like you to read the next topic off this document, Ian.
Oh, sure thing. Let me head over to the document. All right. So Microsoft Cross Network. So Microsoft announced that it's going to introduce cross-network support for the Xbox One, which means people can go online, compete against each other with other devices, including PC and PS4. The first game to reportedly have this feature will be Rocket League. What are you guys' thoughts on the current development?
This is probably the best thing Microsoft has done in a while, to be honest, considering the fact that, yeah, it's true, they're losing a lot of exclusives, so they need something to bounce back, and I do think that playing with other players on different networks besides just the PC will be a great benefit, because I think it would be kind of a benefit and a double-edged sword at the same time, because if Sony decided to implement crossplay and their exclusives were like playable or something like that, I know that would never happen, but it would be less of a reason to pick up an Xbox, or less of a reason to say, hey, I got this multi-plat, how about I just convert over and get an Xbox One, considering the fact that they are lacking on exclusives. So I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, but in their favor it kind of works, because not a lot of people, you know, have a PS4. A lot of people are still sticking with Xbox, so they want to play with everyone else, and that would be a good fit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, every game nowadays is multi-plat, so it would make like a good business strategy to be like, okay, this game, like, say I'm gonna use Call of Duty 3, Black Ops 3 as an example. That game, your friend has an Xbox One, you have PS4, play together, cross network. It is a win-win on most parts, but at the same time, it's a loss too.
Yeah.
Can I say something on that note?
Go ahead.
So since it says PC, Xbox, and PS4, and especially on something like Call of Duty or shooters in general, PC players would have a really, really, really high advantage against console players because of the mouse. Like whatever you do, mouse is always going to be more accurate than controller, even if you have scuffed and all that crap going for you, and God weaknesses. So my question is, would there be an option to turn off or at least set a bar for it? Like you can only play with like Xbox players, or you can only play with PC players.
Oh, like a filter, like in like Street Fighter 5 has.
There should be.
If that's the case, probably.
I'm not saying, because I think if you just delve deeper and, you know, you try to say, would there be a filter to turn off certain features, I think a lot of people will complain about that. And I know that's not what you were saying, but I was saying in general, like, any hindrance would get people up in arms. But I think that a filter would be nice, because at least you would know what kind of shit you're getting into. Because I played Counter-Strike for a little bit without the mouse and keyboard, and I got absolutely demolished. So I think that would be a good suggestion, so people can't just sit there, be on their soapbox and say, well, the PC players are dominating everything, let's not have this filter where people can play with a certain amount of people. So I think that they should, but it remains to be seen for the most part. This news was just announced like a few days ago, so they didn't talk much about the other features outside of that.
Also, sorry, I'm just gonna finish this up real quick. There's another thing that worries me about this whole cross-platform thing, the cross-console. Since when I pay attention to games nowadays, games are super short. Everything is just ends after a day or two, even if you play like 4 hours per day. Games end short, even if you do all the side quests or collect or whatever they have. Is that because multiplayer has become just such a big thing? And if it has, then is single player gonna just drop because no one cares about it anymore?
I think it's already happening, to be honest. You look at games like Call of Duty on last gen. I know it's COD last gen. Not a lot of people would care about it, but they did strip out the single player in order for multiplayer. and there's a lot of other games they aren't putting a lot of effort into their single player as I would like them to have. Like the perfect example is definitely games like COD or games that are promoting the multiplayer more, and they don't care about the story. The story is just garbage. It's like, get online if you want the full experience, and it shouldn't be like that.
It's mostly a thing with first-person shooters, though, is what I've seen. And mostly in modern military shooters.
Yeah, that's where all my problems lie. But there are games that are getting to that point that makes you question what the fuck is going on. If you look at things like microtransactions for the new games that are coming out, or if you look at the episodic releases like Hitman, you would normally not think that that would be a game broken up into chunks, or you need to be online all the time in order to play a single player game. So it's practices like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is becoming very stupid. So they're getting to that point. They really are, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love how it did lead into that other topic, though, because that is becoming a huge problem with games, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not even... this is coming from someone who's a huge Hitman fan, not even going to bother with the new Hitman right at the moment just because of all this online DRM shit that's going on with it. I'm just not okay with that. Like, why should you have to be online just to play the single player? It doesn't make any sense. No.
So, what does everyone else think about this topic at hand?
Oh, right, yeah. I was gonna say something on that. The whole it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because you can play with whoever you want to. It doesn't matter what platform they're on. That's a great idea. But I think the main issue is going to be PC players because of Arian already pointed out, the mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard is obviously going to be a huge advantage in the shooters. Anybody that has a mouse and keyboard is going to be way more accurate than anyone with a controller. So the PC players are just going to dominate the console players, and nobody's going to want to play on PC. If there is a filter, like Ren said, nobody would play with PC players. Or if there's not a filter, that'd be even worse because then you don't know who you're getting, and then the PC players would just be dominating all the console players all the time. And I think also the higher frame rate could also contribute to them being faster on the response than console players, considering if the game is at 30 FPS on the console and maybe 60 FPS on the PC, they'd have way faster response time in that regard too. So I just think that would be a huge issue, specifically with just PC players, because they would just have a huge advantage.
The main thing is options. If they take that stuff away, then I don't think it would be received well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if they did take it away, modders would just put it back.
Well, that's always the case. That always tends to happen. Holy shit. I can't tell you how many times I just love...
Modders giving the middle finger.
Yeah, I love when Capcom just eat shit when they say that they cannot implement features into their PC ports, like Resident Evil 5 having local co-op, and then the modders just come in, bam, they stuff the pie right in their face. I just love shit like that.
I think that's also good, too, against Capcom, because it'll make Capcom stop doing that kind of bullshit, because they know they'll get exposed every time.
Oh, this game doesn't have this feature on this console? We'll make it happen.
What did you say, nigga?
What'd you say, nigga? I said mods.
I wish you could uncensor on the PS4, though.
I am waiting for mod support to come to the PS4, because that is going to be a thing that happens, and maybe then, our Mika's butt slap will be on console again.
I don't always believe in mods, but when I do, fuck censorship.
Oh, well, yeah, fuck censorship no matter what it is.
Nah, man, they're gonna charge you $100 to get those DOAX girls naked.
And then they'll get the same issue that Steam had with Skyrim and shit. No, they won't do it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They'll have the exact same problem happen. Then
the problem with that, it would be all this nudity shit. I get it, the online features are uncensored and unrated, but at the same time, they would probably take more quote-unquote money to censor that shit.
All they have to do is make a disclaimer. Use mod at your own risk. There you go.
All right. I gotta state something. Isn't Steam Workshop? Isn't that where people who make mods? Yeah, it's a modding community.
That's correct.
Why don't they do something like that for PlayStation, where if someone want to post their stuff, if they want to put money on it, or if they don't, then that's fine. They just have the ability to distribute that.
Because developers sometimes don't want that.
Yeah, I can see that side as well. Like, they don't want people to profit when they can make a gain off of that. But at the same time, when they tried, they failed. That's the issue.
I don't know if this is actually true, but I saw an article that someone made a mod for Skyrim and Bethesda gave him a job.
Really? No.
If you're very good, I would assume. Why not?
I think the guy, he like made a mod for Skyrim that was so well done that Bethesda gave him a job. I could be wrong about that article, but if it is a thing, find it.
So I think we need to move on to the next question. I'm going to let James take it.
No Fox Girls this time.
Number 8. Also, shut up, Levy. You're the one talking about him.
1-2-1.
Yeah, go right ahead, because that is also an important topic from what I'm seeing.
The PlayStation VR was announced for October 2016 with the release of $400 price tag, and Sony promises that 50 games will be available at launch by the year's end. However, it was also revealed that the VR will be required a PlayStation camera to function, which will have brought separately. What are your thoughts on this announcement?
That is very, very... It's just... I understand that people...
Stupid.
Yeah, what people's argument is that the fact that, oh, I can't find a PlayStation camera at $60, so what are you talking about when you're saying it's very expensive? But still, though, I don't understand how this $400 peripheral needs this camera in order to function right. It should be able to do it by itself, considering how much you're paying for it.
Right.
So I don't
expect that.
Yeah, now it's like, I gotta get a fucking PlayStation Eye for this? Goddamn.
No.
Consider the fact that some people just don't have it, or they didn't buy it back then. So now they have to go buy it if they want to experience this. And I did hear that the PlayStation VR did sell out in Europe.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's, it's a little bit of an issue. But, I think that the price tag is, if they just put it down a little bit more, then I'd be okay with getting it. But as it stands, I don't want to buy one right now, personally.
It's like the same price as buying a console. And it's, I mean, not only that, it'd be more expensive just because you have to buy the PlayStation Eye. The whole thing with VR right now, though, is that it's just, I mean, that's great that there's going to be games available for it at launch, but it's a technology that sounds interesting, but it's not as good as an execution, at least in my opinion. It looks like, it could be interesting in other applications, but for gaming, I'm not really seeing it at the moment.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I didn't really have anything else to say.
I was gonna say, doesn't the whole thing of the VR seem to be like a big gimmick?
Yeah.
I know that we just accused Nintendo of this, but then what we see with the PlayStation VR and the Kinect, all that most consoles are trying, or systems or companies are trying to do, is they're trying to sell us gimmicks.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an issue on Sony's end as well with this VR shit. I mean, I'm not saying I think it's a good idea in some regards, but in others, it's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's just not it wouldn't be as good for gaming, in my opinion, just because it's like, it's not, first of all, we're not used to that, and it would just feel really weird to play games like that. It's just a VR. I don't know.
I like how Levy hit the point so much that it actually segued into one of my trivia questions about saying if PlayStation VR was going to be a gimmick or not. Personally, my thoughts are, if they don't have the games that you can play that are good on the platform itself, then it's going to be shovelware, because no one's going to want to touch it.
The only thing that I could see virtual reality or this whole thing for, including Oculus Rift, I see it more as a game development tool. Like, this, you can use your hand, say, and draw a part of it inside the game, and if you don't like it, you either get rid of it or improve it inside of that.
It's not as much of a gaming thing.
I say game development.
Yeah.
And they do have games on... They are showing games off on the PlayStation VR, because I think it was Gamescom or whatever that last conference was. where they showed off a segment of PlayStation VR, and they said that it's going to be releasing 50 games from the span of right now till the end of the year. So, if they show that support and that dedication, then yeah, that's cool and all. If there's some good titles, that's fine. At the same time, it's like, if they don't really give a shit afterwards, which Sony is kind of notorious for, then people are gonna drop it because they're gonna be like, you know, this thing's a paperweight. Why do I have it?
It's gonna fall under like the PS Move.
Oh yeah, copying Nintendo's gimmick.
Alright.
And that's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely a bad sign if that happens. So I'm gonna just put my reservations all out there, and I'm gonna simply say, if they produce some good stuff, I will applaud them for it. If not, then I'm not gonna care for it.
Yeah, like the NX, I'm not gonna care for it.
Well, that's that to me it remains to be seen. So if they do fuck it up, then that's gonna be a huge disappointment. So that's how I feel on that. Does anyone else have any questions on PlayStation VR? And really quickly, have you seen that VR that was like the HTC, and it's going for $800?
You mean the one with
no,
the
they can
link
fuck
in
off
it?
with that price.
Yeah, they really can.
They can.
Redundant.
Unless a hooker is coming out of that thing and she is giving me a blowjob, then they can suck my dick.
I mean, I can see what people are saying about it. It's new technology. You should be excited for it. I get that argument. I think that's a really interesting technology, but my problem is that I just don't think it's good for gaming. I think it's good for a ton of other things. Just gaming, I can't see it. Again, it's just one of those things we're going to have to wait and see, like, how it would play. You would play a game with it. I don't know, but I don't know. It's good for other things, just not so much for gaming.
I have a better question.
It can be good. What's up?
Just really quickly, go ahead, Reapers. I'll answer after.
I was gonna say it can be really good if done well. If there's really good games for it, like I want to play like a Gundam game with that shit, or play like a dot hack game or something cool. But if you're just gonna give me bullshit, then it's not gonna work.
To kind of go off of that, I've been saying that, well, yeah, of course, it's from Konami, so I don't expect this to ever happen. But could you imagine if they made a Zone of the Enders game or something like that on PlayStation
I'd throw up
VR?
all over the place. I'd throw up all over the place, but be happy.
Dude, imagine if Konami got their shit together, Silent Hill VR. I will fucking love that so much, but they're not gonna do it.
Or just PT.
Yeah, just
VR.
PT in general and VR. I would love that shit.
Yeah, and then Kojima was like, "No, I was really with them the whole time. It was a giant troll."
I'll only be satisfied until someone dies this time.
Yeah, cause he actually said that if someone has a heart attack with PT, that's great.
Yeah, he said, if you shit your pants, we did our job.
Did you like it?
So is everyone done on the VR topic? Because I think there's a bullet point here.
Yeah, there was that Sony confirmed will reject any PlayStation VR game that's under 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he
Good.
went on record to be blunt about the practice, stating that 60 HZ, what is that?
60 hertz, I guess.
Hertz.
Yeah, 60 hertz is the minimum acceptable frame rate. Everybody drill that into your heads.
Good.
Yeah, that should be, in my opinion, that should be the standard. If that's not the standard, then, it makes you think, what is the point? Like, you can't have fighting games that's below 60 FPS. You have 30 FPS games going at a sub 10 FPS. It's unacceptable at this point, and there needs to be a standard, because now it's like people are looking at the PC and they are seeing that the frame rate is mostly consistent with it, and you can even go higher. So with this, it should be a standard. This is, the current generation of consoles. You have 1080p 60 FPS functionality. Dipping beyond just that to the single digits, unacceptable. So I love this. If this was the standard for all games, I would support it, to be honest. Get your games rejected and try to come back with a more tolerable frame rate.
I mean,
Like,
with certain games, I can completely understand why it's not 60 frames a second. Like, some games are just really graphically intensive, and, you know, consoles being consoles, they can't handle that graphical intensity unless they lower the graphical intensity or they just lower the frame rate.
But Chaos. Games at sub 30, though, we've seen this on Digital Foundry, sub 30.
Oh, yeah, sub 30 is not, except it depends on how low it dips, though. Like, you know, for example, like Bloodborne, like, I've seen some instances of that game dipping, but, like, I know why.
It dips on multiplayer a lot.
Yeah.
More
I
than
mean, I know
single
why
player.
it does. It's just, it's a pretty decent looking game. It's pretty obvious it's going to every now and then. I mean, yeah, having 60 FPS being the standard, I'm all for that. I'm just saying I can understand why some games don't run at, you know, 60 frames on
Dark
certain
Souls
consoles.
does that too. I don't think for graphical reasons. I think just because Miyazaki says something like the game is a slower paced game. Something like that. I don't know. I don't mind in games like for Dark Souls being 30 just because I don't know if it's consistent. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge issue for me, really. It's especially if I'm playing on a console. So I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a good standard to have. It's just that some games, like, you kind of have to make an exception.
Well, yeah, I can kind of see your points, but I think that maybe to retract that, they should at least have a submission system where the games cannot be submitted below a stable 30 FPS.
It seems reasonable.
That's reasonable. Mm-hmm. That's really reasonable in my opinion. If they say that the game is slower paced or if it's cinematic, then I can understand that. But at the same time, if it's dipping below that, then something's got to give with that because it's not going to be good for anyone playing it. So, Don, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say to kind of go off of what James was saying. The only complaint that I have about like the Souls games being below 30 is that Bloodborne being the more faster paced game, I really wish that game was running at 60, just because it's the more faster paced game compared to Demon Souls and Dark Souls. So that would be the only thing. But yeah, I definitely agree with what everyone is saying. Like, yeah, 60, if not a stable 30, should be the standard at this rate, because how is it that, you know, we can get games on previous gens, you know, on like the PS2 that are running at, you know, 60 frames, locked at 60 frames, and yet this generation, you know, we get games that can't even handle 30 frames.
I can answer that. Because developers are content with leaving things half done.
Lazy.
Or to put it simply, yeah, laziness.
It's just a symptom of a bigger problem in that regard of the laziness of developers and them relying on DLC to finish their game for them instead of actually finishing the game and releasing an unfinished product.
Yeah.
So does everyone agree on that topic so we can move on to the next?
Yeah, we're good on that.
Alright.
Makes sense.
So I'm gonna get someone else to pick a topic.
Since Reaper brought this...
Oh, go ahead, Cos.
Oh, I was just saying, since Reaper's brought up DLC and how how the developers of the company is treated right now, I don't know if anyone has played GTA or someone plays it continuously.
I have.
I've heard of it.
I
have.
Honestly, I think the only company that I have seen do DLC right has been Rockstar.
Isn't there all their DLC free?
No.
Yep,
No, it's not.
Time-based.
Well, the updates are, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, the updates always bring something new, like new stuff. It's not like the stuff that if it was COD or Assassin's Creed or any other game, they would charge you for it.
The only thing they would have to charge you for is like the microtransactions.
Yeah, it's currency. You pay money for money in game. That's the only thing. That's the only DLC that's in there.
Also,
it's not even DLC.
Cos, I agree with you to a big extent because I remember when the Lost and Damned came out and the Battle at Gay Tony, those actually felt like expansion packs rather than DLC. Like, they had new weapons, new characters. They even had, you know, multiplayer segments in them where you can use those weapons and vehicles that were new to the game. So I totally agree with that in the sense that the DLC of today should feel like expansion packs of the old. That's my
You know what else they did that was good?
What?
Red Dead Redemption's DLC was awesome, like the Undead Nightmare and shit.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
friggin' amazing. I love that DLC so much.
That was great. I hope they bring that back for the sequel.
Well, Mr.
Oh,
Reaper.
one more zombie mode? Yes.
Well, Mr. Reaper,
The supposed sequel.
You can segue into that. Is on the document. I think it's question number 5.
Speaking of which, 2K Rockstar's parenting community Take-Two is coming to E3 2016 in a big way. The CEO announced that the return IP to be shown on display. If Rockstar show off content or returning content, what would you like to see?
Rockstar
Like
new
just
content.
Undead Nightmare.
Bully 2. That's my opinion. I would love to see Bully 2.
Oh shit. I don't know other IPs besides GTA, Bully, and Red Dead.
LA Noire.
Yeah, Manhunt, fucking...
Yes, there you go,
that's
Ren.
right.
Yes, Manhunt, please.
Yeah, Manhunt. We haven't seen a Manhunt
Bring
game
it back.
since PS2 era.
The Warriors.
Yeah, the
think the
Warriors
Warriors
was.
is
I
a
heard that
little-
was a good game.
It was good. I loved it.
Actually,
It's
I
good,
have
but
that
I don't
game
think
on
it'd be
Xbox.
relevant now, though.
Dude, if they
comparatively.
can make a good beat 'em up. I mean, there's a lack of beat 'em ups, if anything, compared to the old days. So yeah, I think they could do something like that. Like make it like Anarchy Reigns, where it's online. That'd be cool.
Anarchy Reigns is a special beat 'em up, though, 'cause it's like a fighting arena game beat 'em up.
Yeah, I know. Just take some cues. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a Warrior sequel. It could be a spiritual successor.
Well, like one of the bullet points. Sorry.
I said we should get that LA Noire sequel.
No. Kappa.
LA Noire was okay in my opinion, but I don't
Yeah.
think it was anything special.
Aren't they having like a new game where like you're a special agent in the 70s?
Agent, yeah, but they have not revealed anything since I believe 2009 or 2006.
Apparently they're saying that could be quote unquote LA Noire 2, but I don't think so.
Nah,
They haven't revealed anything since 2009. That's kind of troubling.
That's a big delay.
Bigger delay than Last Guardian.
So I'd rather see what they are doing with Agent. To me personally, I would like something that's a mismatch of Time Splitters and Metal Gear Solid. Put together.
Time Splitters is fucking awesome.
Yeah, with the whole 1970s theme that they have in some of the levels, and Metal Gear Solid where you're sneaking around and shit. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Time Splitters is one of my favorite first-person shooters. I would love to see another Time Splitters, but I don't think we're ever going to get one, fortunately.
I want another one that's as good
Or
as the
just an
second
HD
game.
collection, god damn it. We don't have any fucking HD collection for that for this game.
I would get that for the PS4 so fast.
I'd definitely buy a PS4 for that.
Yep.
But yeah, to address that one bullet point though, like that's pretty much what I would look forward to if they were to announce another game would be a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, because I love Red Dead Redemption. I mean, to be honest, it really wouldn't make any sense to have a sequel unless you have different characters. So I mean, I guess it would make sense to follow the John Marston's son. So
John Marston.
Raging Jack Marston.
Yeah, Jack.
Speaking of that, since they are talking about a possible sequel to Red Dead Redemption 2 called Legends of the West, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that it's going to be entertaining, or would you rather have something else come out?
I don't know how they would progress with that. I mean, unless they use his son as the main character.
It might be somebody new entirely.
But have John Marston mentioned and his son mentioned too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they should. Well, Rockstar tradition has usually been to use new people for each sequel. And if they have references to older characters, they would have them swing by for a cameo and that's it. But I think that would be the best way to do it. Maybe have an older Jack Marston or something like that, and then have a new character take over or something. I think that'd be fascinating, to say the least. So does anyone else have any opinions for Red Dead 2, or can we move on?
Move on. Oh,
I
sorry.
think Red Dead 2 would be a great idea, but personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a HD remake or HD re-release of Red Dead Redemption. First one. It's a great game.
That sucks. Supposedly they had an HD remaster on the Xbox One marketplace, but they took it down and said it was like a fake, which is very shitty, to be honest. I wish that was true. They would have kept up with that. That would have been great to play on next gen systems.
Yeah, just have update the graphics, have it running at 60 frames. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I could go with question number 13. What are your thoughts on ReviewTech USA's statement saying that physical copies of games are pointless?
That is stupid.
You guys are fucking idiots.
Absolutely retarded.
I'm sorry, but he's fucking stupid.
He's dumb. Next question.
Like, okay. Physical copies of games are pointless. How? What was he trying to convey with that?
I don't know. I guess maybe, I'm just saying this hypothetically, I'm thinking maybe his argument was that the digital market is booming or something, and that
it's not.
And more people would like to buy it. Because on PC, I mean, no one uses CDs for their games anymore. I mean, if they do, more power to them, but,
It's usually a collector's edition now, if it's physical for PC.
You're mostly going to be buying your stuff on Steam, so I guess maybe he was thinking under that pretense that there was a lot more digital games being sold, and that physical didn't matter anymore, which doesn't make any sense. I totally agree with all you guys. I think that if you're a collector, there is a reason to get physical games. There's always a reason.
Yeah. Like, I was about to say that. Like, the only time ever people will get physical copies is if they want to collect it. The only disadvantage, like, if he's trying to say that digital market is better than physical, he has to understand that not a lot of people have consoles or any hard drives that can withstand the memory. I mean,
the storage.
What are most consoles? No, here's what I was meaning. PS4 has 500.
Standard.
Yeah, the standard. If you want to improve, you can go up to a 2 terabyte, maybe even more. But even then, you're still gonna run out of memory.
Okay, in this defense, I'm going to say that when it comes to the comparison of size, it doesn't matter anymore, because The Last of Us Remaster, I bought that day one on disc, and it was still like almost 50 gigs. So I think that the disc versus digital thing is irrelevant now. Those games are going to be that size because that's what we come to expect from this generation. At the same time, if you get a game that has DRM on the other hand, and your internet isn't that great, and you have to be always online, that's another story. That's why physical is probably going to be much better in that regard, because all you need to do is pop in the disc, install. You probably won't have any problems compared to what they're trying to do now with always online and DRM.
There was a survey, I remember a report a while back, and people said they preferred physical vastly over digital still.
I think
I don't know if anyone's heard about that.
Yeah.
I've heard about a couple of surveys like that.
Yeah.
I think the main thing with people like ReviewTech is they'll look at the success of Steam and all these digital games, and they'll think, oh, well, why would you ever want physical games? Because look at how many people have Steam accounts, and look how many people buy games on Steam. Steam is like the future. Digital marketing is the future, which isn't true, because there's a ton of advantages to having physical games as opposed to digital. There's so many games that, I could mention, all the, Famicom, Super Nintendo, that you can't get digitally. There's no fucking way. I mean, unless you do emulators, that you could get those games anymore. Some games are really rare and really hard to find, so it's not that, you can't just say, oh, well, all games, you are digital now. So, I don't know. I don't really see that argument of, digital is the future, because people, like you said, collectors, people like to collect games. I like to collect games. I collect games as a hobby. I like having a shelf full of games. I can just pick whatever game I want to and play it whenever I want. I don't have to worry about, space requirements, at least not for older games per se. But like Ren said, for newer games is a thing. But, I still like having a ton of games and knowing that I own those games. Like when you go to places like Origin, you could have your account hacked. The same thing with Steam. You could have your account hacked. You could lose your games easily with something like that. Well, you can't. That's not the case with like. I mean, yeah, you can still lose your physical games, but it's like you still. It's a lot harder than if you were to get hacked or something like that. You know, you still have those physical copies of the games, and it's not as easy to lose those games as it would be with like a digital game in that regard.
I'm gonna say that's absolutely right. Like, nothing is safe. We've seen PSN go down. We've seen Xbox go down. We've seen Steam go down. Nothing is safe. So if you lose your library, then it's really going to be detrimental to that service of doing all digital all the time. That's why this is very important, because you will not lose, you know, that physical copy. If it goes down, you can just reinstall it, no problem, I assume. But with this, it's a lot of compromises here, and I think that that's what people don't understand, because people think that we're gearing towards this digital-only future, which is really stupid, because if we don't go that route, if collectors love their discs, then people aren't going to want it, and people are going to miss what made the old console so great. So that's my opinion on it, is that I think that idea is completely stupid. There's always a reason to buy something if you're buying it. That's just how it is as a consumer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So does anyone else have any topics on the fucking cucumber eater, or can we move on?
Oh, I was gonna say that. Damn it, Ron.
Well, we'll just say this: the cucumber dildo salesman can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shove
You
that
can go
right
play
up.
with this coconut. Food.
Shove that fucking cucumber dildo up your ass. Anyways, moving on.
Brent, if it's okay, I can say something about the whole disc and digital thing.
Go ahead.
That you go about.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, like, this could just be me, and I'm pretty sure it is just mostly Canada because of the tax reasons. But if you didn't know, a $59 game in US, it's actually $79 here for me.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Yeah, I
about
knew
that from
about
a
that.
lot
Yeah, I knew
of
that.
Canadians. Yeah.
And if I want to buy a disc, which is the only thing for it is going to be a just maybe a manual in the cover, plus a disc that might get lost, break, or a lot of other things. I have to pay an extra $14 tax for that. So that's going to be around like what, $84.
So that
$94.
That is essentially old NES, Super Nintendo days. How those cost a lot for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I understand for some people, like, it's really expensive for physical. So I get that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you did have a good point. If it actually got me worried real quick when you said if the library gets deleted, you kind of lose all that.
Yeah.
Just shout out to Sony. They have to make something that, like, as a backup. I don't know, something that saves these libraries. So if anything goes wrong, cough cough Lizard Squad, we will have a guarantee, because I know Dom, James, and all those guys like what Game Share too, right? And a lot of
we all Game Share.
Yeah,
Even
so
me.
that would go over a lot of people
Yeah.
if that ever happened.
Even
Yeah, they
me.
really need to have like a fail safe or something for that.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
going to
sure-
say that. Oh, go ahead.
Go on, Dom. I'm done.
I was gonna say that some people, and I even do this myself, where like I'll get a digital game first if I can't, necessarily afford the physical version, because sometimes they do take the prices down. Like sometimes the digital version is like $10 cheaper or whatever, so I'll get the digital version, or there's a sale that goes on. And then later down the line, I'll try to pick up the physical version, because, you can find it used for like half the price, or even sometimes the quote unquote new copy has gotten price reduction, so it's cheaper to purchase. So I know that a lot of people do that sometimes, where they, only get digital just to kind of compensate for that physical version until they can afford it for a later date.
Yeah. And there's also some cases where digital will always be more expensive than physical. Thank you, Amazon. Because there's one game I wanted to get. I looked at it digitally, $50. Amazon, $30. Yay, cheap.
Wasn't there a thing where digital's actually more expensive to produce than physical?
I know there was a thing that said that digital actually turns out to be worse for the environment than physical discs.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I mean, you know, just on a side note, because I know we're kind of running short on time and we should be moving on. You know, you could just say that the physical discs and even the physical cases, they could just use recycled products to make those. Just throwing that out there. You'd assume they would do that to make it cheaper. I'm just saying. But, you know, it is what it is.
I guess really quickly we can do a quick topic. This was highlighted a little bit earlier, but yeah, they're shutting down the PSP native storefront. And what do you guys think of that? It's not going to be available March 31st.
I think that's stupid.
That is retarded.
Yeah. Stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah, I don't see the point in doing that. And you're just killing a lot of your sales.
Yeah, that's just essentially saying, oh, you liked PSP games, you want to play for a Vita? Well, too bad. You can never play those classic games ever again.
Well, they did say that, to be fair, just a little bit in their defense, they did say that that is going to be available. PSP games are going to be available on the PlayStation Store as it is now. So you'll be able to purchase them and download them still, I assume, to your PSP, but... You know, it is a shame that they're taking away features, like I said. When you take away, it's never going to be good news. It's always going to be bad news. Always.
Change is usually a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Yeah.
This is a bad thing.
This is a very bad thing. So I think it's stupid, like the rest of you guys think. Does anyone else have an opinion on this?
Sony did a bad thing. Nope.
Sony did a bad. Alright, Reapers. Reapers, I want you to read the next one.
I thought Chaos didn't read one.
Alright.
Wait,
number 9.
Chaos is next then.
Okay.
Which one was it? Number 9?
Yeah, I wanted Reapers to go first though.
Okay.
Alright, so number 9. Over a week after its release, Tom Clancy's The Division became Ubisoft's best-selling game. More than 5 million copies sold. What are your thoughts?
More than Far Cry 3? Blasphemy.
It's impressive for
Damn, boy.
a MMO.
But yeah, for a game that Ubisoft has made now, that is impressive.
Good
and
shit.
also,
That's all I have to say.
And also, I'm gonna say this right now on the record. Next week, I am going to get the game.
Awesome.
It's impressive, but like it's kind of strange to me because it doesn't really. I mean, it has an interesting premise, but from what I've seen of the gameplay, I can't imagine people being so hyped for the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's
you
just...
have not been in the dark zone.
Essentially, it's a game that's fun with friends.
It's a game that's fun with friends. It's not fun by yourself at all. If you go into the dark zone by yourself, you're going to get shipwrecked by like 3 dudes at the same time. It's like it's not fun at all by yourself. They don't have a lot to offer as far as single player goes. So it's more fun just running around with a group of buddies than as opposed to being by yourself.
Yeah, I think as an MMO though, that's kind of the point. They were kind of gearing it towards play with your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you don't have any friends. Oh.
Well, then that's your problem.
I feel sad.
But
the most loneliest day of mine.
But coming from this motherfucker, is it Dancing with the Stars, Singing with the Stars now?
Dancing with the Scrubs.
You mean American Faggot Idol?
Whatever you like to call it.
Show that lasted for like too many seasons.
But we're diverging. I think that it's impressive for Ubisoft considering the fact that everyone I know, they didn't have any hope in that game at all, like 0, and it turned out to be decent in my experience. At least it was decent, but I would not recommend that to someone who is looking for a single player only experience with a lot of depth. You're not going to find that in The Division.
Yeah, it's not really a game that I would think you'd pay full price for, though, to be quite honest, just because it doesn't offer the single player experience, and you're mostly just getting multiplayer out of it. So it seems like you're not really getting quite as much for your buck. So I don't know. That's just me though.
Perhaps it sold so well just because. Wait, what team was this? The team that worked on AC
I don't know.
What?
The division.
for the division?
Let me see real quick.
I would bet because if you guys, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but both AC and Far Cry Primal did not have multiplayer whatsoever. So I think they just took the multiplayer team and focused it on division.
No, actually, you want to know the one game they actually made in the past?
Shoot.
Far Cry 3.
Ugh. That explains that, but I was gonna make
also
it.
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Oh, so the good games.
Both of those had multiplayer though.
Hey, Far Cry 3 was a good game. Shut up.
Yeah, but both of those
Yeah,
had
I
multiplayer.
said the good games.
You said good games.
They're good games, but they have multiplayer.
Live your high.
No, I thought you said. Ugh.
No, I said the good games. I was gonna originally make a theory about the AC team being the ones that were doing it. I was gonna say maybe they're so sick of making AC they were excited to make a new fucking game.
Someone mentioned that the division had Watch Dogs animation, so I was under that impression.
It does.
Yeah, I was under
It
that
does.
impression that the Watch Dogs team made it.
Like when you run or when you jog with the pistol and he has the guy or SMG and it's to his side, that's the same animation as Aiden Pierce.
Hey Rubido, I don't know about you, but I had fun on that AC Revelations multiplayer.
It was fun. Of course, the best is Brotherhood, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've not played that many AC games, but I had a lot of fun with that for what it was. But if I played the main story, maybe I would think different, but that's a whole nother point entirely. So let's move on to something else. The next question. I think someone should take. Yeah, someone should take number 10 though. That's just my opinion.
I thought we already talked about
read
that.
off a trivia question, but
Oh, go ahead, Don.
just to kind of break off. But yeah, so number 4, what is your favorite series or what game franchise or series would you like to see come back as a hack and slash, i.e., like Ninja Gaiden, and which development company would you like to see work on it?
Of course, that'd be your question.
Devil May Cry 2 Platinum game. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for Koss to say something.
I know a game that everyone will enjoy. Bubsy Hack and Slash.
Get the fuck out.
My Platinum game.
Get the fuck out.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Slices people to bits.
I was gonna say either a Strider game in the style of like Revengeance with like the blade bow and shit, because that would be fucking godlike, or I think we said this in the Mega Man podcast, having a game starring Zero in a hack and slash from Mega Man X.
Yeah, I think you did talk about that. It was you that brought it up.
Yeah, that or the Strider thing. Either or would be pretty hype. Actually, no. The third option I would want is a semi reboot of Shinobi.
Man, none of you motherfuckers said Samurai Jack hack and slash. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
shit.
actually hey, Ren,
Damn.
I was about to say that because I started watching Samurai Jack recently. I was like, yeah, I could see that actually happening.
Yeah,
I
that
should
would be
bid to
great.
watch that again.
But who would develop it though? We can't say Platinum because that's too easy.
I would say Itsuno, but he's kind of busy right now.
You wouldn't want him to get distracted by anything else right now.
No, you got one job, DMC5. Do it.
If you say Ninja Theory, get the fuck out.
No, they're developing their third rate ass game, but that's not the point.
Giant ass knife the game.
Resident
guys
Evil
saw that?
4 Knife Edition.
You don't play with the
So,
gun.
saying
Play with the.
Koss.
No, I was gonna call it Resident Evil 4 Cameras Up Your Ass Edition.
What were you saying, Cause?
Oh, I was gonna ask if anyone saw the little cinematics trailer they put for Hellblade.
Hell no.
No,
I saw that they changed the character's face. It's like DMC all over again.
She doesn't
Yeah,
look
it's
like
gonna
to
fail
me.
like the reboot.
She doesn't look
by the-
like to me.
by the way, to piggyback off what James said, the Cameras Up Your Ass edition. Dom would like that if he plays with Ada Wong.
They already
will not
have
deny.
that, Levy. Actually,
See?
it's called Resident Evil 6.
It's called Resident Evil XXX edition.
No, like really, the camera is up her ass and she crawls through stuff in RE6.
We are
It's the most blatant fan service I've ever seen Capcom do.
James is diverging again.
Anyway, I think I've mentioned this before in the past, but I'd really like to see either a Nightshade or Shinobi game, come back and kind of be made in the style of something like Ninja Gaiden or Metal Gear Rising. If not Platinum Games, I'd like to see maybe Pseudo 51 maybe work on it or something like that. I just want a good development team to work on something like that.
Hey, though, Dom, it'll never happen because Sega is that fucking lazy.
Oh yeah, because I totally want Sonic.
Yeah, we all want Sonic, don't we?
You know what I think would be a good idea would be if they had like I didn't have any specific games I'd like to see or characters from games, but I know they like because they did this with Tekken with Nina Williams. I think it was Nina Williams, Death by Degrees, where it was like a spin-off game featuring her. So I was thinking of like any character from like a fighting game that had like their own spin-off game or something like that, because you don't really see a lot of that.
Wait, we're still on the hack and slash question.
Yeah, well, it's not hack and slash technically. I mean, it could be hack and slash.
I know what I want. I know what Chaos is saying.
Tsurugi or Yoshimitsu game?
Yeah, like they're sword users in fighting games.
Yeah.
Like Soul Calibur or something like that.
Like him and Taki team up.
Actually, Soul Calibur did for the Wii, but it wasn't that good.
Yeah, Soul Calibur Legends.
It's you like it or you don't, basically.
You know what? I actually would. I know this would.
Oh, they could. You know what? Speaking of Soul Calibur, I'd like to see one with Nightmare.
What, in a hack and slash?
Yeah.
Shit, at that point you might as well make it like Legends 2, but not garbage.
Alright,
or just remake Legends and make it better.
So we really need to move on to the next question.
I had one other game before we moved on. A Persona hack and slash.
Oh god. I have actually thought about that a while ago.
And Persona, but then again, it would piss some people off because where's Persona 5?
You Narukami running around with a katana, fucking.
Yeah, and then you summon Itsunagi and he kills people.
Yeah, but we need to move on.
Persona.
Yeah, we need
to
move on. So someone do question number 10, please.
Fine. Since I think we did talk about this during Nintendo.
Only briefly,
No,
though.
Yeah,
briefly.
It was briefly. Yeah, I was gonna say we briefly talked about it.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about our opinions on. Go ahead, bitch.
Fuck you. Sony is currently planning a new version of the PS4, currently nicknamed the PlayStation 4.5. That's a stupid name. With increased graphical power and games running at 4K resolution, and will support the PlayStation VR. It is currently not known whether it be an update or if
you fail.
What is that noise?
It's got a siren in the background.
Damn, Ren, whose house you burned down?
I'm hiding from the cops right now.
That's a fire siren, you dumbass.
I know, I was joking.
Anyways, or if gamers will have to buy an entirely new device to support the upgraded features. What are your thoughts on this announcement? Personally, I'm sticking with my original PS4.
Yeah.
Here's the thing for me, or I think this is the best way to do it. If it's a part, then it's fine, but if it's a console, that's stupid.
I say, well then again, it will be going back in the old days of the Sega Genesis.
That's fine. These are different now, though.
You know,
if it works like a PC, I'm okay with it. But if it works like I gotta buy a new console, then no, it's fucking stupid.
It's looking like it's gonna be the new console thing, which is what I kind of have a problem with because, like, okay, you're gonna make another fucking PS4, and it's probably gonna cost more money considering it's more powerful. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't like the idea because I think the reason they're doing it is because they have to keep up with how graphically intensive games are getting now, but I don't know. It's a good idea, but I just don't think it's practical for people. Like especially since if they've already bought a PS4, like why buy another one?
Everybody already has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way it depends. I think it depends on the marketing.
And I agree with all you guys. I'm gonna set that one out because I really agree with like what all you're saying. I don't see a reason to buy another console if they're gonna make me pay for it. I'd rather have it as a part than anything. If I can't get that, then I don't want it.
And you know it's gonna, unless they improve the ventilation, it's gonna like emit way more heat. And the PS4 already emits like a lot of heat. So, I don't know. Like it's.
To me, it kind of just seems like a lot of this is just rumors. If anything, it might just be a PlayStation 4 Slim, because usually around 3 or 4 years, you get a Slim model, and then that's out for 3 or 4 years, and maybe you might get another variation of the Slim model, whether it be just a slight redesign or just a even smaller console at that point, like we saw with the PS3 and Xbox 360. So I think that a lot of people are just kind of blowing this up out of proportion. It might just be a Slim that might have slightly better hardware, but nothing like extremely major, like 4K and things of that nature.
Alright, I gotta ask this real quick. Would you guys settle for this if it was a Slim model?
Probably not, because I already have a PS4. What would be the point of buying another console?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big example. There are some people that saw the new 3DS and they ask the same thing. Why should I give up buy another console when I already have one already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly my thought process. It's like it might have some improvements, but as long as my console's working, I don't really see the need to go spend like hundreds of dollars on the same console, just slightly improved.
You know what I think? I think this would have been a better idea if they introduced this at launch.
Yes.
Because people would have obviously bought the more powerful system, but just as a suggestion, that would have been perfect during launch.
Like, I know it's a rumor, but this is kind of like with the NX, and not in that concept, but just that they introduced it, not even halfway into the console generation.
Yeah, it's like I'm still, even though I'm kind of finicky about the whole bringing back console parts, if it was just a part, then I'll be fine with it being a part then.
Does anyone else have an opinion on the PlayStation 4.5?
Do they have a price for it?
No.
That sucks then.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait for more information to come out about it.
It's probably going to be about the same price as a regular PS4, and they're going to bring down the other one in price.
If that were the case, that'd be good, but I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm hoping they do that, but yeah. Again, like I said, we're just going to have to see, I guess.
I want to go next because I see an interesting trivia question.
Oh.
It's question number 5. What game or games do you want to like but you can't bring yourself to play all the way through by Levy?
Yeah, the reason why I wrote that down, because someone made a video about a list of games he really wanted to play and really like, but he can't really play through them all. And sadly enough, one of them I can't really get myself to play is Mass Effect.
What is that?
I want to like it. I want to like its characters. I like to like its atmosphere. I just can't play it all the way through.
Is there like a specific reason for that? Or
it's just that I just can't bring myself up to play it.
That's a weird quirk.
There's some things there's some games I really wanted to play. Hell, there are some games I want to buy even. But just
maybe you
seeing
get
them
disinterested too easily.
No, I actually don't get disinterested. Maybe it's just because I get busy with other things.
Yeah.
There are games like that I guess the ones I could at least immediately come to mind, but I do know why it's hard for me to get into them, would be like tactical RPGs like Fire Emblem games or Valkyria Chronicles, just because of how they play and because it's kind of strategic, and I've never really been a strategy game person, those are kind of hard to get into for me, at least. I do want to get into them because at least in terms of Valkyria Chronicles, I really do like the characters in the story, so I really want to get into the game and figure out how it plays and how it works. And I do have a basic understanding of it, but it is very complicated because the things that always turn me off about strategy games is how just complex they can be and how there's a lot you need to learn about the game. And it's like one of those games where if you put it down for a while, you're going to forget like a lot of stuff. So if you go back into it, there's going to be like a lot of things you really need to, remember. Just because if you don't, you're going to get your ass handed to you. So it's kind of one of those situations. And yeah, that's for me. Those games usually are the types of games that I find at least somewhat difficult to really get into.
If I go back to answer, I give another example of one game I actually wanted to like so bad, but I can't really play all the way through. Drakengard 3. The reason why is because old Chaos here hated the final boss, and that turned me off to it.
Well, let me elaborate on that, because the game, like, I can understand why. I mean, the gameplay is fairly repetitive, but I got through that game. It's just it's kind of the opposite in that situation, because the final boss like threw you for a loop, and it wasn't like, I don't mind games like doing this thing where they'll like have something completely different that wasn't in the game. Like, that's a good idea, but the thing was, it was basically just how it was implemented. It's cheap as fuck. But yeah, that's another subject entirely.
I guess one for me would be Final Fantasy VIII. I cannot bring myself to get past that intro, even though I really liked the demo back in the day. I think that it's really a boring introduction, so I'm not liking that too much.
Main story, you mean triple triad time? Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. So I'm having a hard time trying to get through that. But personally, I do think that, as Levy said, a lot of factors do try to come in. Like having a backlog, for instance, I think that might be something that will be under consideration, because if you have a bunch of games that you would rather like to play on top of your list, then you're probably going to miss out on the rest of the stuff that you need to get to. And then it might fall into the league of playing games that are better than others. That's how I feel about things, definitely.
That's an issue with me quite a bit, because I have a lot of games that I've gotten over the years that I have and I have not played. I've been meaning to play, but then I'll get caught up with another game, and I might get stuck in that game, and I'll just be like, fuck this game, and just move on to something else for a while that's maybe easier to play, or I can get through faster. So that's kind of an issue with me as well.
Yeah, I have that problem too. I think I have like around 20 games in my backlog that I need to get to, and I haven't.
You have 20 in your backlog? I have like 100.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm poor. I can't afford fucking hundreds of games.
I'm sorry, but Steam sale.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't play PC.
Dude,
I hate PC, bruh.
You pleb. No.
You screw.
You fucking PC pleb. No.
Oh, I'm kidding. But seriously,
it's like I'm just doing this on purpose now.
Yeah, but does anyone else have any games that they find it hard to play through, even though you want to go back to it, or not?
Oh yeah.
Dead Rising has always been a series I've really wanted to like and really want to love. I played through a good chunk of the first one. I've never gotten the true ending for a lot of different reasons that kind of add on. And Dead Rising 2, I actually managed to beat it, but I really had to force my way through it. Like, I liked it, but I just could never bring myself to play it too much. Maybe 30 minutes a day. It's really draining. Anything that's too draining to play, or doesn't give me access to, a save point, not necessarily because it's hard, but because I want to put it down, it really turns me off.
That's actually interesting you brought that up, because Dead Rising is also another one of those games where, like, it's weird because I do like it, but I don't know. It's just I think it's just the repetitive nature of it, because you're always going back into the mall and doing something. Like, I like fighting off the zombies, that's fun, and how the game is really kind of quirky, but everything else, like just the missions to me, I think, is just the annoying part about it, and it's just I find it really hard to get into it.
What about the psychopaths?
I did not like the Zombrex. That shit was annoying.
Oh yeah, that was
That's
That
what
was-
turned me off to the first game.
I thought it was the second. Oh, I thought it was the second game.
Your second game has
the second
Zombrex,
game.
and you give it to your daughter.
Yeah, the first
That's
game
why I didn't
has
like it.
two big problems. Number one, for the first game, the AI when you're saving people is atrocious. You can sit there and point with your character and tell them go here, and they'll run into a zombie or kill themselves. And the other big complaint I had with the game, the Jeep convicts in the middle of the plaza, absolute nightmare.
Oh yeah, don't they always spawn out there?
They always spawn. Like, you can
Unless
kill
you
them
kill
and they'll be
spawn.
gone for a few days or so, but they'll come back. You cannot get rid of them permanently.
That's stupid.
That's really.
I hate them so much.
Yeah,
should've
Dead
been
Rising
like a
2
one
also
and
had
done
those
boss.
escort missions.
Didn't you have one, Ren?
I set mine, which was Final Fantasy 8.
8?
Yeah.
Dude, now you see why I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that introduction at all. I can't get past it because it's so... Considering the fact that they had this badass cutscene, and now you're in this fucking school and shit, it's like,
it's
what?
slow.
It's slow.
Remember high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, speaking of Final Fantasy, I just thought of a perfect one. Final Fantasy Type 0. That game is so fucking jarring to get into because the first thing that you see when you start playing that game is a bunch of dead people and everything, and there's blood everywhere, and you're like, okay, this game's going to be intense, it's going to be hardcore. You get into the game, and you're in a goddamn high school, and you go from the high school and you go to the battle. Like, the parts where you go to the battlefield, that's fun, but you always keep doing, like, you do the same thing. Oh, invade this city and take it over, and it's the same fucking thing every time, and it's really repetitive, it's really boring, and it gets really dull really quickly. So that's another game I tried to get into, but I just really had to force myself, and I had to put it down for a while. I put it down for a while now. I don't really have any desire to go back to it anytime soon.
Yes, that it just sucked.
Did James go?
A game that I really want to like, but I can never finish.
Or
That's a
you
good
just
question.
Or you have to force yourself to finish even though you don't want to.
Yeah.
Another example with me is Skyward Sword.
Legend of Zelda?
Wasn't it just because the controls aren't very good?
Controls were bad, and I just didn't like anything after a certain point. I was like, okay, this game is just bleh.
A game that I forced myself to finish? Oh, it's easy. DMC2.
Pick another game that's not DMC2 or the DMC. Well, actually, no, DMC reboot doesn't count.
Well, I can't even list that because I went at the original reboot with a middle stance opinion, I guess you want to say. I was very neutral. Obviously, I hated it afterward, but that's not the point. That's a good question, though. I don't... Oh, I know. Halo Wars. That's one.
Oh, that pile of garbage.
The RTS?
I didn't mind the
Basically,
multiplayer too much with the stories. I pushed myself through that fucking story so hard.
That was the one Halo game I didn't like.
Is that the Halo RTS?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember
It's not that it's a bad concept. It just gets drawn out so much. It's like, I got bored. I mean, it's kind of fun with your friends if you do 3v3 online, but that's about it.
That is if you have friends that have that game.
I did. It was okay.
Hey, Dom, did you go yet?
I'm trying to think. I want to say that maybe, I'm going to say that it would be between either Resident Evil Dead Aim or Samurai Western. With Resident Evil Dead Aim, if you don't have a gun comm controller, it is essentially playing a rail shooter with the controller. It just doesn't really play well. And with Samurai Western, you can get through most of the game without a problem, but then there's a particular boss in the game that you get to that kind of fucks up your shit, and it's not fun after getting wrecked several times. And with Samurai Western, I want to like it, but there's there's things about it that I feel like could be better. With Resident Evil Dead Aim, if it didn't have those rail shooter mechanics or whatever, I think it would be a better game. Honestly, if it played like RE4, I think it would be really good.
Yeah, I saw some clips of Resident Evil Dead Aim. I was kind of interested to emulate it, but a lot of people were giving it some negative reception, so I was kind of like, nah, I don't feel like going through it. I mean, do you think that is worth at least one playthrough? If not, then I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, I think it's worth one playthrough. I have to actually go back to it because I did start it, and it does have those Resident Evil elements, you know, like going around a different location and like looking for key items and things of that nature, although it does have some things where it just kind of feels a little bit too easy, like your save points have like handgun ammo that you can always get. So in that respect, there are things that are good about it, but there's also things that are bad about it. So I would say at least a playthrough would be fine. A complete playthrough from start to finish would be fine.
Yeah. I'll definitely give it a try. Maybe later. It's not on my priority list as we speak, so yeah, I think that'll be something in the works. But I guess we can move on. We're winding down. We have like a couple more questions. I guess someone could take more trivia questions. And also disregard number 3 because we already kind of talked about VR a lot earlier.
Yeah, how we talked about the gimmicks and all that. Yeah, because I brought that up.
Yeah.
The next one.
We have 6 questions left, including trivia.
Yeah, Kaz, you were saying something?
Actually, I was gonna tell the games I was on, but if we were moving on, then never mind.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is I would say it's kind of embarrassing on my side because I've been with PlayStation most of my life, but I have never played any Metal Gear Solid game, any Uncharted game, and a game that I could not finish was The Last of Us.
Get out.
Man, this man is gonna be crucified live on the podcast.
Everyone boo this man. Boo this man now.
I'm sorry.
Actually, that's not true because you tried Ground Zeroes when it was free on PlayStation
I tried
Plus.
Ground Zeroes because you guys really recommended it to me, and I just could not. There was nothing.
I watched the frustration. Cos got so mad that in his stream he said "fuck it," got in a tank and started mowing people over.
Wow.
He literally said "fuck the stealth." Just start blowing shit up. That was fantastic.
It turns into the A team.
You know, I will admit that game did create hilarious moments. I remember when I just took Paz, I took her out of the base and I just literally like ran past all the guards and I didn't get spotted. I was like, what the fuck are they? Are they literally blind? I don't know what's going on.
Have you gotten the hacker vision? Because while it's not so much of an issue on Phantom Pain, it's a huge issue on Ground Zeroes. Especially the PS4 version.
No, what is hacker vision?
Where they can see through walls.
Made up. Yeah, where they'll see you through walls, like you'll get spotted, and then the camera will zoom and they're like, oh, they're behind like 2 buildings. How the fuck can you see me?
That is...
And there's nothing you can do about it. The Konami nor Kojima Productions have, fixed it. They did not try to... You would think that they would try to fix it within Phantom Pain, at least, if they weren't going to fix it for Ground Zeroes. I can confirm that it's still there, because it happened to me recently, and James has seen the video for it. Although I will say that compared to Ground Zeroes, it doesn't happen as often. It's actually quite rare in Phantom Pain compared to Ground Zeroes.
Oh, so it's basically like the Far Cry Classic, how they're far away and you're like on a hill, they're on a beach. They can randomly see you and go to your location. It's like, how do you see me?
So them niggas' eyes is like 10 feet Stretch Armstrong?
See through walls.
They must have eyes of a hawk.
I remember.
I gotta show you the video later, right?
There was one time I got Morpho fucked up for me. I know this is kind of slightly digressing, but because his AI in Ground Zeroes, he likes to ditch you like ASAP. As soon as you get off the helicopter, he bails. even though you want him to stay there so you can grab people. So I got mad and I blew up the helicopter with an RPG.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes had that issue, and I know this is diverging, but Ground Zeroes had the issue where, like, you know, Morpho would either I've had times where, like, he would leave when I had, like, you know, like either Pos or Chico or just a random soldier that I wanted to extract. Yeah, like, I would go up to the helicopter and he's just like straight up into the air and just out of there, and it's like, bro, I had people to extract. Where are you going?
I had to toggle him to stay. It was really annoying.
You know what's worse too is that in some cases Morpho actually doesn't even leave, and it gets you spotted, which is really annoying too.
I never had that, but yeah, I guess we can move on.
Yeah, we can. Basically.
I was gonna take the next trivia question.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, though.
So we're gonna do number 6 for this one.
Wait. Dom, didn't you do number 4?
I did number 4 as well.
God damn it.
But with anyways, number 6. With more games going for a Dark Souls-like feel, what game are you most looking forward to? Games that have already released that you haven't played yet, like Salt and Sanctuary, for example. Do count? So, yeah.
Bloodborne 2.
That's not a thing.
I would say Neo.
Yeah, Neo.
Neo's looking pretty good. It is.
Neo, yeah.
It is. I know that I already own Salt and Sanctuary, but I want to play through that a little bit more, like more and more. I'm looking forward to play that game even more.
I plan you already know I plan on getting it very soon.
Yeah, and something happened, and you got salty.
Shut up.
Salty because you can't get your Salty Sanctuary.
Shut up, bitch. Moving on to the next one.
Salt, and even more salt.
Did anybody else have anything to say about that? Because, I don't know. I don't think everybody went.
Everyone's agreeing on Neo.
Here's your personality right now.
After recently fighting Ludwig in Bloodborne, I'm just really not interested in the moment of playing any more Souls games for a while. Just, I don't know, he's pissed me off. He has pissed me off so much that I'm just like,
Ludwig's not that hard, though. He's not, like, I understand his patterns in his first form, but then he goes into his second form, I'm like, holy shit.
The second form is easier.
He does. How do you dodge that horizontal slash fucking
just
thing?
keep
I can
dodging
dodge
to the
all
right
the other
early.
vertical slashes. Horizontal slash, it gets me.
Are you talking about which one? The one where
he does a horizontal slash, you can't, like, I don't know if it's the range, but, like, I can't dodge.
You dash forward.
Hold on. Did we already do that yet for our, Bloodborne plays?
No.
Oh, okay.
Never been to the DLC.
Ludwig's DLC.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass.
Actually, go easy on Chaos, not Chaos, my bad. Because some bosses, like some people don't have problems with. I didn't have any problem with any bosses. In fact, on my first playthrough, I think I won. No damage.
Chaos. There is one boss that you and I both hate with a fucking passion, and it's Lawrence.
Don't even know.
Lawrence.
Okay, Lawrence and the Orphan of Kos are the 2 worst fucking bosses in the DLC.
Worst is the most difficult. Lawrence because he's a horribly unbalanced piece of fucking shit.
You motherfuckers made me not want to buy the DLC now.
The DLC is still good. No, the DLC is still good, but it's a pain by yourself. I will say that.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna rage on that.
I've been playing it by myself. I'm not something out for Ludwig. I have too much pride.
Considering how people saw me rage on Call of Duty, I would definitely rage at that.
Pride.
I look forward to it.
You look forward to
that is something you want to do on a new game, or
I look forward to seeing you throw your controller into your TV.
The picture I linked in this group chat is how you feel about that game.
Yeah, we get it. Salt, great, whatever.
Is it me pissing Is it me pissing in the game disc?
Salt, and even more salt.
Your personality.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Alright, seriously though.
Shut up.
I guess
it's good.
I guess we can do like 2 more questions before we wrap up.
But don't we have 5 more?
Well, no, I mean, this one is pretty much common knowledge that Uncharted has gone gold. Congrats to the Naughty Dog team.
Yes, I still got the collector's edition. I'm so looking forward to it.
I hate you. Fuck it.
14's a pretty short one. It's just an announcement for a game that's on Steam.
You delayed the game like
Steam.
4 times, yeah.
I'll still buy it though.
So
Way of the Samurai 3 is coming to Steam. What do you guys think?
If there's a demo,
I think it's pretty cool.
if there's a demo, I will try it.
Yeah, if it's a demo, I'll play it.
I'll say this, since I've played pretty much every single game except for the 4th one. 3 is probably the best one compared to the first 2. There's
Isn't
just
it
a
also
lot
the
of.
goofiest?
No, that would actually be 4. That would be 4.
Oh my god.
But, and I think you know. I think I know what you're referring to, but. Yeah, 3 in terms of its improvements, and the fact that you can turn off the god-awful English voice acting, yeah, it's pretty good. And I would expect that the mod support would be pretty cool for it, so, yeah. Do you mind if I do number 12 really quick?
Oh, it was made by Acquire, the same people that made Mine Zero.
Published.
Oh, no, they developed it. Acquire, no.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it.
You're thinking of Axis.
Yeah. But anyway.
Go ahead.
There's a new survival horror game coming. It was shown off at TGS 2015. I guess we missed out on this one when we were looking at that because I didn't see it and I didn't see any articles on it. But it's known as Back to 1995, and it seems to be inspired by classics such as Resident Evil and Silent Hill. What are your thoughts on it, and do you think it has the potential to not only be a good game, but also capture the essence of classic survival horror?
I'm passing on this question because I need to see more info about it.
I have never seen it. I think we were blinded by the barrage of fucking Monster Hunter, but that's not the point.
I saw it. It does have that Silent Hill-esque look, but I'm with the other guys. Well, yeah, it's in 3D. It's in 3D, but it has that look. And I need to see more of it because what I saw was a small taste. It's good that they're going back and developing games that look like PS1 games, survival horror, and it definitely has that Silent Hill look, like I said. But I have to see more because I can't just judge on a video anymore. I did that the same time with what is it? Not Last of Us, but Watch Dogs, and I got severely boned. I got boned up the ass because I thought that game was going to be good, and it turned out it wasn't. So yeah, if I see more, if I see a demo, if the developer is so kind and they put demos out there, I'll definitely play it.
I put out the video that was on the article if you guys want to take a look at it.
I see it.
You know, my thoughts on it are, you know, it looks good. I like the fact that it kind of looks like Silent Hill meets Resident Evil a little bit, but I need to see more because there isn't really much in terms of you know, what kind of enemies you're going to be dealing with and whatnot. It's just, it seems like it's just more or less an announcement trailer more than anything else. And that said, it's really hard to say at this point. So I definitely agree with Ren. But over time, when more things are shown off, I would hope that you know, it's not only going to be released on Steam and more is shown off. Obviously, I wouldn't want all the jump scares and things of that nature to be shown off, because that would just be spoiling a lot of scares, but I'd like to see more.
It looks interesting. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I would definitely try it if I had a chance.
Anyways,
I guess we can do one more, so who wants...
Well, there's 2 more questions right now.
Well, really?
Yeah, because we skimmed through the Uncharted 4 going gold and Way of Samurai 3 is coming to Steam.
So there's only 2. Wow, we can finish this tonight. Alright then, let's do it.
Alright.
Let's fucking do it.
I think Chaos should ask one of these questions.
Alright. I guess we'll go with number 2. With, it's a trivia question. With Warcraft and Assassin's Creed films being developed by Blizzard and Ubisoft respectively, what video game films do you want to be developed by their respective companies? And that's by Blue Spade. I think that's good that video game companies are actually working on the movies, because then at least they would be hopefully true to the source material. In terms of what video game based movie I'd like to see, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. I don't know, honestly. That's I'll have to think on that.
Dead Island, if it's done correctly.
Oh boy.
And done better than the game. That's all.
Maybe the movie will skip
Levy,
frames.
there's
too.
been a fucking ton of zombie related movies that could essentially just be Dead Island.
Yeah, that market is definitely oversaturated.
Just throw that in there. Hey, it's better than what we normally got. Hey, it will even be better than the game.
No, unless it skips frames like the game.
There is going to be an Uncharted movie, isn't there? I heard of there.
Last of Us, I thought.
Was it? Are you sure? Because I remember hearing it was going to be Uncharted.
Wait, that's a thing?
I heard it was Last of Us.
Yeah, there is going to be a live-action Last of Us movie. I think it's going to be done by... I forget who's doing it. I think it's Sam Raimi.
What's the point?
Really?
The game already looks like live action.
Well, yeah.
The game is already kind of like a movie in and of itself, but I mean, that's nice that they're doing that.
Same with Uncharted. I guess I would rather see Naughty Dog do Uncharted on the silver screen than anyone else, because I think that the first time they tried to attempt this, we almost got fucking Marky Mark as Nathan Drake.
Oh,
almost.
Could I get a Crash Bandicoot movie?
Max Payne, he doesn't need to be in it anymore.
Wow.
Fucking Max Payne, the guy who ruined that role was almost Nathan Drake, so just process that.
No.
He doesn't strike me as Nathan Drake, though. He doesn't look like him that much. I don't see that.
He was in the casting.
Also, someone in the YouTube chat said Square Enix should make a Kingdom Hearts movie.
I don't see how that would translate.
I mean, they already had games. Then again, they tried. I don't think it would work. AKA 358 over 2 days cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see that. At least not a live action version. I could see like CG, but
like
not
CG. You can even do CG.
They're doing the Ratchet and Clank.
And Sly Cooper.
Yeah, and Sly Cooper. I think that more CGI movies should be on the rise because, you know, it captures the essence of what the video game is, which is like being in full 3D and having the personality of these characters like be translated on screen. I think that that's the best way instead of live action, because it's going to be a little bit harder to translate that with real people when they can just do it in CG and, you know, get the voice actors from the games, and it'll be easier that way. That's why, even though these movies aren't particularly spectacular, I think that the Resident Evil CGI movies are at least something watchable from start to finish compared to how the live action movies sort of degrade in quality the more you watch them.
You know, if we're going to talk about CGI... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I can think of 5 possible movies that can work. I know one of the things that I'm gonna list off has gotten a movie, and another thing was supposed to get a movie, but it never actually happened. So, Yakuza actually did get a movie, but I'd like to see another one, maybe based off of either the spin-off games that take place in feudal Japan, or perhaps Yakuza 0. Onimusha was actually going to get a movie at one point, but it never ended up happening. Shenmue, I think, could work for a possible movie. The Evil Within, I see some potential in that as far as it becoming a movie, and I would also like to see Bloodborne get something, either it getting like an anime movie or like a CGI movie. I think would work really well.
Yeah, I was gonna just bring up the Soul games. Like, that would be really cool if they got movies.
Yeah, definitely. Like, more CGI stuff should be on the rise for that. But
yeah, I didn't even think about Shenmue. Yeah, Shenmue is also one of those things that would lend itself really well to a movie because of how cinematic it is and how story centric the game is. So I could easily see that.
Yeah. So, I guess we can move on to the last one?
Before we do, on a side note, did anybody hear about Koei Tecmo working on a Dynasty Warriors movie?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, that's actually being developed by Koei Tecmo, and I remember I was talking to a couple of people, and it's like, yeah, it's basically another, like Romance of the Three Kingdoms or any other like, Chinese-based movie where you see like guys just killing each other on screen.
Sorry,
So
apparently.
It's nothing necessarily new in concept, but I think it could work too.
Sorry, apparently my Skype just messed up on me, and I just fixed it.
Alright, well, we're moving on to the last question anyway, to wrap up.
I was gonna say they should make like a CGI Devil May Cry movie.
Yeah, that would probably be
Anime.
best, but...
no,
Be
no.
like the Resident Evil CG movie.
Yeah,
Live action would never work, but
Yeah,
CG
and also-
would definitely work.
And also
CG or anime would work.
No to the anime, because they already made an anime of that. It was not good, in my opinion.
They can always
What the fuck are
reboot it,
you
like...
smoking? That was great.
They can, they
The
can
anime,
reboot
no, it
it.
wasn't, Tom.
Yeah, but they can
anime-
reboot it, but we're diverging. We need to move on to the last one. Let's move on.
I'd rather just have a CGI movie. That's
Yeah,
it.
let's move on to the last one, because we need to wrap up. It's almost 1 o'clock.
Last one.
Yeah.
It's one.
What video game
Audio
characters do you... It's the first one in trivia questions. The first one. What video game characters do you want to see featured in a future episode for Screw Attack's Death Battle? And that's by Blue Spade again. So, I think that a good one would probably be, I guess, maybe more comic book characters like Punisher versus Chris Redfield or some shit like that.
That would be interesting.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, comic book characters versus game characters. I think that would be an interesting concept.
Does this only have to do with video games, or can it be anything?
I was just putting in my 2 cents, but if you want to pick just video game only centric characters, you can.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one.
I am going to... I don't know, because I can't think of any, so I'll pass.
They did a 1 minute melee on it, but I would have wanted a full thing for Virgil and Sephiroth, because that's pretty... they're both the most overpowered swordsmen in video games, so why not?
Well, James, that's gonna be endless fight. Both are immortal, and they don't give up. So that's you're not gonna have a 1 minute melee of that. It's gonna be a.
They already did.
I know they did it, but it's like not. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
Yeah,
make-
that's why I want a full death battle.
They're just gonna slice each other up into ice cubes, and then the ice cubes are gonna slice each other up.
You know what would be interesting to see?
What?
Van Helsing versus Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
two monster hunters or vampire hunters, it would make sense.
I'd actually
would-
really like. Oh,
Go on,
go ahead,
Tom.
Gus.
No, go on.
There's 2 possible ones I'd like to see. Either one with like Goro Majima going up against somebody who can fight, or maybe like Hatsumo or whatever her face is, Hibana, going up against Ryu Hayabusa.
I got one. Dom might like this. Alucard from Symphony of the Night versus Vampire Hunter D. Since they're both Dom
yeah, that
fears.
would be hype too.
They're both half vampires, so why not?
Yeah, that would work too.
I don't know.
Well,
if it's
since we're on vampires, I guess maybe like I wanted to say something with Rain from Blood Rain, but I have no idea who I'd wanted to fight.
I know who she could fight.
Who?
What about Kane?
Kane?
That would be
Oh, Legacy.
from Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kane.
That would be interesting. Oh no, wait, Kane would win.
But I think that's
I would
about.
want-
Oh, go ahead, Cos.
Okay, I was gonna say the 2 things I want to see is Deadpool versus Wolverine. Or that's a movie wise, or Deadpool. Well, movie wise, yeah. But game wise, I would like to see, like, someone like Dante go up against the MC3 Dante specifically, go against Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
That's probably gonna be
Like,
Slaughter.
they did
That's
Deadpool
gonna be
versus
Slaughter.
Wolverine in X-Men Origins.
Never mention X-Men Origins here again.
Oh, hello there. I bet you want. It's I got.
I mean,
my movie.
imposter.
Guess what?
Hold on, I do have to ask, Cost, why Noctis for Dante?
I don't really
Because
know much about
Cloud, I know Noctis is stronger than the Cloud. and I know Cloud doesn't stand a chance against Dante, so I was like, Sephiroth is Virgil. There's no other strong enemies that can stand up to Dante besides Noctis. It's kind of like he doesn't really want to fight. He's just doing it. And Dante, DMC3, wants to just fight for the hell of it. So non-serious fight. That's what I kind of want.
Noctis has that super OP move where he can summon the lightning god, or Zeus, pretty much.
Solid Snake.
Listen, Dante kills gods. We'll see about that.
I just realized what could work in terms of like seeing two survival horror monsters fight each other. Fucking the Keeper from The Evil Within and Pyramid Head.
I knew you were gonna say that shit.
Yeah.
That would be the hypest fucking shit ever.
Don't cut out hard. What the fuck was that? He was a robot.
It sounded like a dubstep. Yo, my ears like. I was just gonna say.
Keeper. I hate that enemy so much.
Hold on, one at a time.
I would say this out of shits and giggles. Nathan Drake versus Solid Snake.
No. Against maybe shit. Joe. Solid Snake was shit on him. Come on. Raiden is scared of Snake. What the fuck is Nathan gonna do?
Just to piggyback off Nathan Drake there, I was thinking Nathan Drake and Lara Croft, if that isn't already one. Not too familiar with this.
They never did that one. They never did it.
Hey, that actually sounds more interesting.
Like, I always thought that one was kind of a gimme since they're both, pretty similar characters, so...
They never did it. I was talking to someone named Rising Light, and she's pretty cool, and she mentioned that to me, and it's like, they never did that one at all, from my memory.
Wow. That was pretty much a gimme right there.
Well, here's the thing, though. Which Lara Croft are we talking about? The original or reboot?
Please, OG.
I think people would prefer the original.
Yeah, original's
cool. Then Nathan Drake will win. I'm sorry.
Reboot Lara Croft would already Nathan Drake would win automatically because reboot Lara Croft is just an amateur. So
Nathan Drake would win regardless.
Yeah, but the original Lara Croft has her skills. No, don't count her out and shit. Yeah.
Nope.
I was also thinking.
You can keep your pointy tits.
No, I'm just saying it.
Why does everyone think they're PS1, Laura?
I don't know. He's jacking off to those fucking digitized tits.
I'm not the one that wants the quote-unquote OG one. So yeah, keep the pointy tits.
I'm talking about before the reboot, you idiot.
That I know. That's what you're talking about.
Alright, but I think that for now that's enough for tonight because I need to go back to watching my Daredevil.
Slander.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, you just want to pretend to be Daredevil.
I will fuck Elektra.
Yeah, pretend to be blind so and see a hot chick. It's like, oh yes, you're beautiful. Let me rub your tits. I can read Braille.
I'd be like, my eyeballs don't work, but my dick does.
But can you read Braille?
I read Braille on her ass.
Your ass says juicy.
Alright, I think we're closing out for tonight. So
someone said Voss versus Joker, Leon versus Chris Redfield.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Commander Shepard versus Punisher. That would be good. Yeah. Actually, I like
Commander Shepard versus the Punisher.
Punisher would win.
Did he get torn to shreds? Seriously.
But Voss could be Voss versus Joker is an interesting one.
The fucking Shepard will get shanked like the Punisher did on Daredevil.
The only thing Shepard has is like a fucking Omni blade. I mean, what's the
Punisher has a gun, head blown off.
Alright, but seriously, I do think we need to cut it short because we are running almost on 3 hours and I gotta edit all of this in. So we're gonna it's gonna be pretty fun, a hell of a time. So we're gonna do the outros. I guess we can start with Ethan. Where can we find you, man?
Well, I actually don't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, so if you like, you can find me on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, plug your name so people can follow you.
Oh, sure thing. Name is Illuminoscope. I wish I could change it, but that's what people know now, so I just leave it. It's ILLUMINO Scope 33.
360 no scope. Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So, Levy, where can we find you, dude?
Just find me everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all these things on Levy the Ostrand. I like to read people's I like to read people's pain on Tumblr. It makes
Do
me
you
laugh.
talk about your white privilege on Tumblr?
I laugh. No, I laugh at it.
I almost thought you said I like to read people's tits. I was like, what the fuck?
I do all the time at work. It's like, excuse me, your tits are magnificent. I must study them.
Oh god! Alright, we need to move on to the next person. Chaos, where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me on YouTube as Captain Gas. I do Let's Plays, unboxings, and reviews. So if you enjoy any of that, you'll probably find something to like there. You can also find me on Twitter by the same handle, just without the spaces between Captain and Gas. So.
Awesome.
Easy as shit.
Yep.
Devil Hunter James, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DevHunterJames and here at the TCP. Oh, and also on the BioDevils podcast.
Oh yeah, I should get back to Dom's podcast if you.
Mr. Dom, where can we find you?
So you guys can find me on YouTube as BioDevil Dom. You can also find me on Twitter and Google Plus under that same name, and on Twitch as Dom241996. On YouTube, we do a podcast which is currently on break and won't be back until April, and I do various other content on the channel, so be sure to keep an eye out on that. And on Twitter and Google Plus, you can always just follow me to see what's going on with that. And on Twitch, I do some streams sometimes. I'm going to be streaming Samurai Warriors 4 Empires tomorrow, so be sure to check that out.
Let me see. I think Reapers cannot talk right now, so I'm gonna do his intro. I'm gonna do his outro for him. My bad. His outro is you can find him on Twitter at Reapers240, and I think that's the same handle as his Twitch, if I'm not too mistaken. So you can find him there. And the last person that we have to do an outro for is Cos. Where can you find you, man?
You can find me downtown in Dark. No, I'm kidding. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. Most everything is the same. It's Cos Destroy, KOS Destroy 101.
Are you selling them green shards and purple shards?
Actually, it's more of a hand-to-hand business, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, goodbye. You're welcome, Tumblr. Have your fan art.
Oh my god.
He specializes in hand-to-hand stuff. You're welcome, Tumblr.
Alright, we're gonna get out of here.
Does he bring his own lotion?
We're gonna get out of here before someone gets a preemptive blowjob. We will see you guys later.
Tune in next time as fucking Ren watches Daredevil and jacks off to it while wanting Elektra, and I just play my video games. Good night, everybody.
Hey, you shut the fuck up.
He knows I'm right.